As we welcome you back here to Harrisburg as we get set for game number 2, as the Pierre Governors are going to be looking for that the splits with the Harrisburg Tigers. As for Harrisburg, as we'll go through the order, we're ready for baseball here. As
off the first inning
the pitcher for
Pierre Governors,
the Harrisburg Tigers will be wearing number 5. It'll be Kai Youngbloth. To do the pitching. The left-hander will deal with McGuire Rasky to lead things off as we are set for game number 2. Glad you could join us here right in time as the first pitch is taken high for ball 1 to lead things off here in game number 2. McGuire Rasky, and they'll be followed by Andy Gordon, and then Jaden Wiebe be the first 3 hitters in the batting order. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Rasky. That one will be over, and it's now 1-1.
For Youngbloth, the left-hander has 4 innings pitched on the year. He's pitched one. He started 1 game, went 4 innings in that start. Gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. Both of them earned 2 walks, 9 strikeouts in those 4 innings. 3.50 ERA in his 1 appearance so far.
It's actually an 0-2 count here. Rasky was able to foul that one away. The 0-2 pitch, that one's grounded to the right side. That'll be fielded by the second baseman. The throw to first is in time, and that will retire the first man here as Klein will throw it on to first base for Los, and that will be the first out here in game number 2. First pitch was right around 4:15 as we welcome you in here to this second contest. Here's Andy Gordon. The first pitch is taken outside for ball 1 to Andy Gordon. Governors are looking for that split of a doubleheader with the Harrisburg Tigers. Harrisburg now 13-0 on the season. There's now a 2-0 count to Gordon.
Yep, Governors just need to start stringing some hits and some base runners together. Just hitting is all about momentum and all about confidence, and once you get, it's also, the old saying is, it's also very contagious. You get a couple of guys at the top of the order producing, and all of a sudden the ball just looks a little bigger, and it's just easier for everybody else up and down the lineup to start putting some balls in play, and that's just really what the Governors got to do. Just got to have somebody get hot right now.
Count is now 3-1 to Gordon. That one's outside, and that will be the first base runner of the game, and that will be Andy Gordon's first time on base here in this doubleheader. And that'll bring up Jaden Wiebe, the second baseman. So it'll be Wiebe, then Booth, who is a starter here in game number 2. Elliott Life will bat 5th, playing left field. Jake Mayer batting 6th. That one will get off the catcher's glove. The throw to second will skip past the second baseman, Klein. The shortstop and Tyson Kogel will make the play before it gets into center field. Got away from Timon Long, and it will be now a runner at second in Andy Gordon here with the 1-0 count to Jaden Wiebe. Bennett Dean will bat 7th, playing first base. Deegan Huska batting 8th and catching, and then it will be Brecken Kruger out in right field batting 9th. Count is now 2-0 here to Wiebe.
52 degrees at first pitch here for game number 2. The wind still coming out of the northwest at 10 to 12 miles an hour.
There's a ground ball. That's through for a base hit. Rounding third is going to be Gordon. He'll hang up at third base, and Jaden Wiebe will get runners in the corners here with 1 down.
Single by Wiebe.
And see if the Governors can get their first run in 3 games with Aaron Booth that can help himself out and give him give himself a lead going into the bottom of the first inning.
Quick score update from Fargo in the Dakota Marker game. The Bison put a touchdown on the board early in the 3rd quarter, and it's now tied at 10. 10-10, Bison and Jackrabbits, early 3rd quarter.
So we'll go around the horn here after this first pitch defensively for the Harrisburg Tigers as the first pitch to Booth. That one's fouled back, and it's 0-1. It'll be Chase Lucas out in left field, then Tigan in center, Rayburn in right. Simmons will be at third. Kogel is at short. Klein at second. It is Los at first, and then Long is behind the plate with Youngbloth, the pitcher, working with an 0-1 count to his counterpart in Aaron Booth. The DH will be Jack Sutton for the Harrisburg Tigers. The runner is off for a second. The throw to second. It will get into center field as both the shortstop and second baseman can't make the catch. As the runner, Gordon, did not go home for home. The shortstop, Kogel, let it go. The second baseman, Klein, didn't grab it. And an error charged to the Harrisburg Tigers will get the Governors on the board for the first time since Game 1 against Mitchell back last Saturday.
Yeah, and again, similar to the play that kind of ate up the Governors in Game 1 where in this case, the shortstop Kogel comes in and is ready to field the ball in case Gordon breaks for home. This time he just lets the throw go through, but actually kind of shields the second baseman from picking up the ball, and with that, the ball skips through into center field, and the Governors get a run on the board.
Aaron Booth pops it straight up in the air. It's going to be land fair. Booth's going to get to first base. The throw is going to get into left field, and then everybody will stop, and we're going to have a discussion here because Booth didn't run to first base in time, and I think maybe the umpires are going to come together and talk about this because Booth didn't run. It kind of shielded the catcher and Long to make the play. The ball dropped, and then getting to third base was going to be Jaden Wiebe, and now we'll see if it goes one way or the other. We're going to have some discussion by both coaches, one way or the other. We're going to be talking about something here. So Booth's going to be out, and so we're going to have Dirk Campbell, who's going to be the one to talk, and then Wiebe's going to go back to second.
Yeah, and again, it was a pop fly right in front of the plate, but it was right down the line, and so Booth was actually kind of running down the line, wasn't sure whether it was fair or foul, and so when he did, he actually was a conglomeration of Booth, the catcher, the pitcher, and the first baseman all kind of came together at the same time, and the ball just actually dropped in fair territory by about 5 feet, and with that, when it dropped, I mean, there was just a moment of confusion. Booth ends up on first. Wiebe ended up on third, but the umpires make the ruling that Booth was actually caused interference, and so he's ruled out, and they send Wiebe back to second base.
So now bring up Elliott Live, the number 5 hitter, trying to get that second run of the inning in. And, the argument that Pierre would have, and I think the argument that both coaches will end up having against each other is that Booth was never out of the baseline. He was in the baseline, and although he wasn't running, he was still in the baseline. Again, that doesn't, but the fielder has the right to that, to make the play. It's a tough play to make, and I think the call was probably right, but I think both coaches have some arguments as that one will get away, and the count is now 1-1 as Wiebe will end up at third base, and that does hurt the Governors there that Wiebe had to go back to second because he would have scored on that play if he'd have been at third base. So he's now only on at third, and LA Life still has to try and bring him in with the base hits.
Yeah, and it's probably the right call, but it's an unfortunate call, and I think you're right, John, in the fact that I think it's a call that probably could go either way, and so unfortunately the call goes against the Governors. Probably takes a run off the board for them, although they still do lead the game here in the top of the first 1-0.
And Elliott Life could still drive in that runner. Here is the 1-2 pitch, and that one is upstairs, and it's now 2-2 here. The left fielder Elliott Life, who gets the start here in game number 2 at the number 5 spot in the batting order. Looking to get that batting average up. 2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to the right side. It'll be fielded by the second baseman, Klein. The throw to first will end the inning, and the Governors get just one run in the top of the first inning, but it is a big run. They are finally on the board for the first time since game 1 of the doubleheader last Saturday. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We have played that half inning. Governors have that 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first here in Harrisburg. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Your home and business are important to you, and you need quality furnace and air conditioning products and service. With a combined 50-plus years of experience, AirTech Heating and Cooling provides you with just that service. Call 945-0160 for sales, service, and installation of furnaces, air conditioning, and heat pumps. AirTech Heating and Cooling features the American Standard products. Sales, installation, and service. You want the best, and that's what you'll find at AirTech Heating and Cooling in Pierre.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
As we welcome you back here to Harrisburg, we head to the bottom of the first inning. Governors have that 1-0 lead. Aaron Booth will have a lead to work with here at the bottom of the first inning as he is on the mound for this Pierre Governor team. As the Govs, again, this is the first time they've led since their first, since they got the win in game number 1, but they've gotten on the board early on and can work with the lead right away. And Booth, who has thrown in 2 games, looking for that third start here this afternoon and looking for a good third start. 7 innings pitched so far, an ERA of 3. He is 1-0 on the year with a 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. He has hit 1 man, a 3 ERA with a 1.28 whip in those 7 innings so far on the season. And the lineup for the Harrisburg Tigers before they come to the plate here on the bottom of the first. Chase Lucas will lead things off. He is out in left field. Tyson Colga, the shortstop, batting second. Timon Long, the catcher, batting third. Ben Los, the first baseman, will bat in the cleanup spot. Jack Sutton is the DH, batting fifth. Jack Tigan, the number 6 hitter, playing center field. Taylor Klein at second base, batting seventh. Sam Rayburn will bat eighth, playing right field. And Will Simmons will bat ninth at third base. Again, Aaron Booth is on the mound. We'll go through the defense positioning for the Governors.
Leading off
here after the first batter, Chase Lucas.
Number 1, Chase Lucas.
After getting the win in game 1, will now get to bat here in game number 2 and to lead things off for this Harrisburg Tiger team.
Aaron Booth, probably the ace of the Governor staff, leads the team in innings pitched. This is his 3rd appearance, 7 innings on the year for Aaron Booth. 2 games, both of them starts, 1-0 on the year. He's allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of them earned, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts on the year, 1 hit batter, a 3.0 ERA, and a 1.29 whip on the year for the senior and Dakota State University baseball commit.
As it's now 1-1 here to the leadoff hitter, Chase Lucas. 1-1 pitch from Booth. That one's going the other way to the shortstop, and it's going to go off the glove of Mayer, and a leadoff error will allow the leadoff man to be on board here to open up the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, just kind of a ball that it was a good pitch from Booth. Just got Lucas in on the hands and was able to fist it out toward shortstop, and Mayer came in on the soft ground ball, tried to field it off to the side, and the ball just skidded under his glove and probably will go down as an error on the play.
First pitch is at the letters and taken for strike 1 here to Tyson Kogel. As the Governors will be the defense positioning of Elliott Life in left, McGuire Rasky in center, and Brecken Kruger out in right field. Andy Gordon's at third, Jake Mayer at short, Wiebe at second, Bennett Dean at first. Deegan Huska will catch the first ball. We're now 1-1 here to the number 2 hitter with Aaron Booth on the mound here for the Governors. Again, a 1-0 lead here for the Govs in this bottom of the first inning. Runner is off of the pitch. That one's fouled back, and it's now 1-2 to Tyson Kogel, who in game number 1, when I get back to my stats, at that 3-run homer that made it a 9-0 lead for Harrisburg in that bottom of the 5th inning. End up winning 10-0 after through the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, and again, the Governors trying to put themselves in a position to possibly get a split out of this doubleheader, rolling the ace and Aaron Booth out for the game 2 start, and have staked him to a 1-0 lead, and so the Govs have put themselves in position right now. But again, the thing that did them in the first game was the 10 walks, 3 hit batters, along with a pair of errors, and so the first batter of the game gets aboard via an error, and so you don't like to see that because again, you're just allowing free base runners for the Tigers, and as good offensively.
Number 1.
as this team is,
Now batting.
you really don't want to
Catcher
give them
number 11.
any extra base runners at all.
Simon Long.
It was a called third strike on Tyson Kogel, but Chase Lucas took second on the steal. And a low third strike was called on Kogel. There's the first down, and that'll bring up Timon Long, the catcher, here batting in the number 3 spots in game number 2. Long in game 1 went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts as the first pitch is taken for strike 1. So he's looking to kind of turn things around in this second game after striking out in his first 3 at-bats and also then grounding out to the second baseman. Count is 0-1 here to Long, and the 0-1 pitch from Booth to Long. There's a swing and a miss, and it's now 0-2. And again, Long with 3 home runs on the season. Every swing I think he's had so far in this game has been looking for that 4th home run of the year. He's not been cheated on any of his swings here in game 1 and also here in the bottom of the first of game number 2. The 0-2 pitch, a swing and a miss, and Booth will strike out Timon Long, and there's now
Long
2
retired
down here in the
number 2.
bottom of the
Now
first
batting.
inning. That'll bring up Ben Lose. Yeah, every swing from
First baseman,
Long
number
is
24, Ben
one
Lose.
where he wants to go long, and you can tell that he's really trying to generate as much power as possible. But when he does, that head kind of comes out of the strike zone, and so if he connects, it's going to go a long way. But he's also somewhat strikeout prone because of it. We've seen that already today.
First pitch to Los is missed for ball 1. For Timon Long, he had 9 strikeouts through those 12 games coming in. Now he's up to 13 here in just with those 2 or 4 strikeouts in these 2 games. 2-0 count to Aaron Booth. To Ben Los. So runner on second here with 2 down. 2-0 pitch. That one is right down the middle. It's now 2-1.
Yeah, and Booth looks pretty comfortable, and I think part of that is the fact that just having that first game under the belt, even though he didn't play the field, he was DHing and in the game and just had an opportunity to get warm and kind of get loose and kind of what you're looking for out of your senior ace. I mean, just the ability to come in and hopefully stem the tide and put a stop to this 2-game losing streak that the Governors are facing right now.
2-2 pitch. That's a curveball that just quite didn't catch the strike zone, went low, and it's now 3-2.
Well, a good pitch from Booth. Just if it missed, it either missed just inside or just low. We're sitting actually right behind and above home plate and kind of are blocked a little bit by the catcher and the umpire on the inside part of the plate, and so we didn't get a good chance to see where that pitch was. But if it missed, it certainly did not miss by much.
3-2 was fouled back, and we'll do it again here at 3-2. And the curveball for Booth, especially up here, it looks like it's got a lot of break to it. And then we've seen some pretty good takes here from the Harrisburg hitters on those curveballs. Here's a 3-2 pitch again. That one will bounce in, and it's a 2-out walk issued to Los, and it will bring up now Jack Sutton, the
Walk to Los.
DH.
Brings up number 9, DH Jack Sutton.
I believe Sutton's got some family that you played some baseball with back in the day.
You have a good memory. We talked about Jack Sutton last summer. Jack's dad, John, very good pitcher. Came up through the Pierre Post 8 system, went on to pitch at Augustana. I had the privilege of playing with him for a couple of years of amateur ball way back in the day. But in fact, I don't know if it's still the record or not, but John had played with John in a game where he held the most set the state record for most strikeouts in a 7-inning baseball game with 18.
Sounds like a pretty good day.
That's almost John Winkler-like.
Oh, I don't think I was anywhere close to 18. I had 18 strikeouts in maybe about 4 games, somewhere around there. I don't think I'm anywhere close to that. 1-1 pitch. That one's grounded to the right side. Wiebe will field the throw to first, and the Govs will work out of that leadoff air, and we'll get it 0. in this bottom of the first inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. Govs have a lead. They lead 1-0 over Harrisburg after the first inning is complete. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's at KCCR.com.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
As we welcome you back here to Harrisburg, it is a 1-0 lead for the Pierre Governors as we head to the top of the second. John Winkler alongside Greg Dean here on this Saturday afternoon, a little brisk Saturday afternoon. With the wind stops, it's not so bad. That's kind of the South Dakota saying is, well, it wouldn't be so bad if the wind wasn't blowing so hard.
Or the other one is, if you don't like the weather, just wait a couple minutes, it'll change.
The first pitch to Jake Mayers, a swing and a miss for strike one. Govs have that 1-0 lead. But yeah, this wind feels much different than what it was 2 weeks ago when we opened up the season to Rapid City, and also even last Sunday or Saturday when we went to Mitchell for that doubleheader. The count is now 1-1 to Jake Mayer. Probably the worst temperature it definitely is the worst temperature we've had in the first 3 weeks.
Absolutely. Quick score update from Fargo. The Jackrabbits have gone back on top 17-10 over the Bison. 53-yard touchdown run by Pierre Strong Jr. has put SDSU back in the lead midway through the third quarter.
As the 1-1 pitch misses low, now 2-1. I almost petitioned to, while he's still with South Dakota State, to change his name just to Pierre. Pierre Strong Jr. No, not Pierre. Pierre. 2-1 pitch. That one will miss. It's now 3-1.
Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre Strong Jr. not Pierre Strong Jr.
Pierre, not Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre.
Of course he should be Pierre. If he's playing for South Dakota, of course he should be Pierre.
Exactly. 3-1 pitch on the outside edge. It is now 3-2. Here to leadoff hitter and Jake Mayer. I mean, it's not a bad, wouldn't be a bad petition. At least the folks listening to this game and in the Pierre area would probably agree with that.
Yeah, we'd support that. You put that on change.org. We could probably marshal up a whole number of signatures for you.
Well, and of course, the guy that does South Dakota State football is from Pierre, so he'd probably be okay with that too.
Absolutely.
Tyler Mary would be okay with that. The first pitch is over for strike one. As showing bunt was Bennett Dean, but he pulled it back and took strike one. With the runner on first base, Jake Mayer led off this inning with a walk. Had the count full and drew a full count walk to up the pitch count from Youngblood. And the check over at first base and back in safely. And again, the lefty, you get that different look of getting that throw over to first base. You don't have to step off the mound. You lift that front leg up like you're going to go home, and you can step over to first base and throw over to first. As Bennett Dean rips one out towards right field. That one is skied back, going back towards the wall, and it's going to go right off the bottom of the wall. Jake Mayer is going to have to round a second and get to third base. Bennett Dean will stop with a no-out double. And there's a big hit for Dean. Probably would have been a triple, but Mayer had to make sure it was caught or wasn't caught before he could take off. So a double for Bennett Dean, and that's a big hit for the Govs. First extra base that we've seen since the first weekend of the year. And it's now second and third with nobody out, and the Govs have a big chance to add to their 1-0 lead.
Yeah, just a long fly ball into pretty much straightaway right field and over the top of the right fielder all the way to the warning track. And
this one will get to the backstop here, and Jake Mayer will slide in. The throw got past the pitcher as it was thrown from long that kind of blindly threw it, but the good thing for Long to blindly throw that is because the first baseman, Los, and Simmons, third baseman, were both backing it up, so the ball didn't get away for Dean to score. But it is now a 2-0 lead with a runner on third base here with nobody out.
Yeah, and again, we talked a little bit in between games off air that what the Governors have really struggled in the last couple of games doing is getting that run in and get it across home plate when you have runners in scoring position. So far, they've been able to do that. The first 2 innings where they've had runners on third base have been able to plate those runs. Now we'll see if they can get Dean in from third with nobody out here in the third.
Dean's going to try and score, and he will come in to score as that ball skipped away from long. And it's now a 3-0 lead and a 3-0 count to Deegan Huska. And the Govs have scored all 3 runs without having any of those 3 runs being RBIs. But a 3-0 lead for Pierre. The bases are now empty with nobody out here in the top of the second. That's a big 2-spot already here in the top of the second. That's a 4-pitch walk issued. And Deegan Huska is now on at first base. And that'll bring up Brecken Kruger, and that will bring out a mound visit as well. You can see the frustration from Youngblood a little bit there from that double being given up, and then had thrown those 2 wild pitches that got that got Huska to first base, got 2 runs in, and Huska a 4-pitch walk.
And I think this is as much of a mound visit that just is out there to talk to Youngblood and just say, listen, it's time to just settle down. I mean, you saw in that last pitch, you saw the frustration because he just kind of reared back a little bit and tried to muscle up a couple of extra MPHs on the velocity and just kind of lost the mechanics a little bit, and the ball skipped back to the backstop. Didn't matter in the fact there weren't any runners on base and it was ball 4, so it really didn't hurt the Tigers in that instance. But you can tell that this is just a mound visit to just go out and just say, okay, settle the nerves, deep breath, just relax, let's dial back in, think about your mechanics, think about what you do right, and then come back out and try to take on Brecken Kruger, the number 9 hitter in the Governor order.
First pitch is taken for ball 1 to Brecken Kruger, with Isaac Pollock, who is courtesy running for Deegan Huska, is on at first base. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is also outside, and 6 straight misses here from Youngblood, and that's not drawn any action in the right field bullpen yet, but you would think here soon that might draw some action here for the Harrisburg Tigers. Check over at first base and diving back in safely is Pollock. Los had to drop down. Well, he's a catcher in the first game, and he dropped down like a catcher to block that throw up, make sure that didn't get past him and get to the fence in foul territory. Here's a 2-0 pitch now to Brecken Kruger instead. Stepping off. And Brecken Kruger will step back out of the batter's box. Get right back in. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one is showing bunt. Pulling it back and taking it for strike 1 is Kruger.
Yeah, Kruger actually showed bunt on the previous, although it wasn't a pitch, it was a pickoff move, but he actually had squared and actually showed bunt on the previous play.
He will bunt that in front of the plate. It's going to be fielded by the left-handed throwing pitcher, and it will be thrown out towards right field. Kruger had got hit around first base. Him and Los collided. Kruger is still down. Pollock came all the way around to score. And it's now a 4-0 lead for the Governors, but Kruger is still down over there at first base.
Yeah, Los is, we don't have biographical information on these young men, but Los is a big kid. I mean, he's probably about 6'2", probably right at about 200 pounds, and Kruger is nowhere near that. He's probably about 6'1" and about 150, and he really took the brunt of that collision. And so now the question will be, I assume he will probably end up staying at first base, but had he avoided that collision, in all likelihood, he probably ends up at third base because that ball goes all the way down into the right field bullpen. And Kruger, thankfully, is up and walking, probably trying to get his wits about him. We'll see if he's able to return. But again, fortunately for the Governors, it looks like he'll be able to stay in the game. Unfortunately, they got probably cheated out of at least one, if not two bases on that play, because he will stay at first base.
Well, maybe the wind got knocked out of him as well. It seems to be fully okay now.
14, McGuire-Raskey.
Now McGuire-Raskey come to the plate, and you're exactly right that if that collision doesn't actually happen, that Kruger's off to probably, like you said, probably a third base and still would have nobody out with that 4-0 lead. But it is a runner at first here with nobody out, and McGuire-Raskey now showing bunt, and he will try and bunt it down the third base line, but he bunts it foul back to the screen, and it's 0-1 here to Raskey. He grounded to the second baseman to lead off the ball game in the top of the first. But batting with nobody out here in the top of the second, 3 runs have already scored here for the Governors. 0-1 pitch. Raskey will drop that one in front of the plate. Fielded by Simmons at from the third baseman. The throw to first is in time. And Kruger is off to second base on the sacrifice bunt, completed by McGuire-Raskey.
Yeah, kind of an interesting side note is during that break in the action, when the Governor coaches were over attending to Breck and Kruger, the Tiger infield came together. Actually, one of the coaches came out of the dugout. They actually got kind of a free mound visit out of the deal, because that would have been, theoretically would have been the second mound visit, and Youngblood would have had to come out because it would have been the second mound visit of the inning. But it was not a charged mound visit in this case.
So now Andy Gordon to the plate with one down here in the top of the second with a runner in scoring position. The first pitch is over for strike one. Gordon walked and came around to score the game's first run in that top of the first inning. Govs have a 4-0 lead here at the top of the second. The 1-0 pitch, or excuse me, 0-1 pitch is a foul tip in the midst of Long. It is now 0-2. And Gordon will have to battle up and find a way to get a base hit. Kruger is on at second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Gordon swings and misses and will strike out. And there's now 2 down.
Youngblood retires Gordon for out number 2.
To bring up Jaden Wiebe, who got a base hit.
Second baseman Jaden Wiebe.
In that top of the first, goes with just 2 hits so far, but have 4 runs. 2 errors have been committed by the Harrisburg Tigers as the first pitch is fouled to the third base dugout, fielded by Bennett Dean, barehanded by Bennett Dean over at in the third base dugout. And now here's the quick 0-1 pitch to Wiebe. That is outside, and it's now 1-1.
Youngblood has some good velocity out there for the left-hander, and the Governors right now have just not been able to catch up with that fastball with any kind of consistency. Like you said, John, only 2 hits on the day so far, but have been able to through sets of circumstances, been able to manufacture that into 4 runs so far here in the top of the second.
1-1 pitch. Wiebe pops it up. That'll get out of play. Greg Dean's got a chance for it. He's going to not make the catch, and it's not 1-2. I want to see some better effort out of you. You got to be reaching over there.
My go-go gadget arm wasn't long enough.
It only missed you by about 20 feet. I don't know why you didn't get more effort for that. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Wiebe. He'll check swing. He'll get a piece of it. It's going to be a tough play for Simmons at third. The throw is going to get away, and Brecken Kruger is going to score. So it's going to be an infield single for Wiebe. I think he was safe no matter what, but Kruger will score on the bad throw from Simmons, be the second error of the inning for the Harrisburg Tigers, and now a 5-0 lead here for the Governors.
Yeah, and kind of similar to how things transpired last summer when we came down here to watch Post 8 play Harrisburg. I think if I remember right, Harrisburg had kind of a long layoff prior to that, and committed. I'd have to go back and look. It was 7 errors, I think, in the first game. I mean, that was, and a little bit of that same bugaboo coming back to bite the Tigers here in game number 2.
0-1 pitch to Boot. That one's fouled away, and it's now 0-2. So 2 hits in the inning, 2 errors in the inning from Harrisburg. And the Govs have scored 4 times to make it a 5-0 lead here in the top of the second. 0-2 count here to Booth. 0-2 pitch. He'll swing and miss at a pitch in the dirt, and he'll be tagged out to retire the side. But the Govs strike with a crooked number of 4 runs here in the top of the second, and they now lead 5-0 over the Harrisburg Tigers. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com.
Join Rising Hope 605 and Dustin Evans and the Good Times Band at the Ramcota River Center, Friday, April 23rd from 7 until 11. Rising Hope 605 is raising funds for people within our community to reduce barriers to access hope. You can do your part by purchasing a ticket and inviting your friends and family to a fun night out with Dustin Evans and the Good Times Band. Purchase your ticket at risinghope605.com. That's risinghope605.com.
Hey, it's Julia from Milwaukee Federal Credit Union, letting you know that our recreational special is back again, with terms up to 10 years, no payments for 90 days, and rates as low as 2.4% APR. Apply online or stop in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre and let Jameson or I get you started.
People helping people. Hawaii Federal Credit Union.
As we welcome you back here at the bottom of the second inning, and Aaron Booth now has a 5-run lead to work with, as it will be 6, 7, and 8 to Jack Tigan, Taylor Klein, and Sam Rayburn to lead things off here for the Harrisburg Tigers. Harrisburg so far with 3 errors committed in this first 2 innings. Govs have an error, but they were able to work around that in the bottom of the first inning. And for Aaron Booth, this is a big shutdown inning for this for Aaron Booth and for the Governor team, because if you're not able to shut the Harrisburg down and give them some life, I mean, a 5-0 lead after 2 innings again is not a win right away, but a 5-1, 5-2 game is much different feeling for Harrisburg going in the third inning.
Well, and what you really need to do right now, if you're Aaron Booth on the Governor defense, is try to get off the field quickly. A 1-2-3 inning would be huge right now for the Governors. You've got a lot of momentum right now, having to put together your first multi-run inning in over a week, and so if he can get a 1-2-3 inning, get the Governors back in the dugout, get the bats back in their hands, and keep this momentum rolling, that would be probably the biggest thing for the Governors right now.
First pitch is missed low to Jack Tigan. Here is the 1-0 pitch. That one is also low, and it's now 2-0 here to Tigan. Tigan in the game number 1 here went 1 for 1. He reached base all 4 times with 3 walks in the game, as that one's fouled away, and it's now 2-1 here to the left fielder in the game number 2. Center fielder. Chase Lucas is out in left field. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one is at the knees and is now 2-2.
Tigan, the starting quarterback for Harrisburg, probably one of the most notable football recruits in the upper Midwest, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Going off of memory here, and so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think has verbaled to the University of Minnesota to play football up there.
I believe you are correct with that, and there's a lot of Gopher fans around the area. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That one's fouled back, and it remains at 3-2. And of course, Gophers, and whether you're a Jackrabbit fan or a Coyote fan or somewhere around the area, you kind of have 2 different teams. You got the FBS team and the FCS team that you kind of cheer for. But Gopher fans will probably be watching quite a bit, as Tigan will swing and a miss and strike out to open up the bottom of the second inning to bring up Taylor Klein. But they'll be paying attention to a lot of what Harrisburg does this year and how Tigan does, because it will be potentially quarterback of the future for Minnesota. Of course, you got the verbal commitment. You hope that we could see him play a lot on Saturdays for the Gophers, as the first pitch is over for strike 1.
Yep,
to Taylor Klein.
Would like to see him have a very good career up at the University of Minnesota. Just don't want him to play very well in week number 1 of the 2021 football season when the Governors come to Harrisburg.
0-1 pitch will come in and hits Taylor Klein, and he'll be on base
now batting for the Tigers,
with 1 down here in the bottom of the second inning. It's pretty funny when you're playing against someone in high school. You're hoping they have their worst games of their careers against you, but as soon as they go to college, you're one of their biggest fans.
Absolutely.
Turn into a big fan after that. As now here is Sam Rayburn, the right fielder, with 1 down here in the bottom of the second. Runner on first, that is Klein. Here's the first pitch from Booth. That one's outside, and it's taken for ball 1.
Yeah, and you can just tell the Governors are playing with they're playing a little looser right now, playing with that 5-run lead. You've got your ace on the mound, kind of maybe has kind of just broken the jinx that they had run through for 2+ games, just really struggling at the plate. And, you can just tell that the energy level is up, the chatter level is up down in the dugout.
Count is 2-0 here to Rayburn. From the stretch, here is the 2-0 pitch from Booth. Comes inside and is now 3-0. And again, 13 free passes in that first game given by the Governors. 2 so far here in this contest, with 1 down here in the bottom of the second as the sun peeking out for seems like the first time of this doubleheader. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That one is over, and it's now 3-1.
Wind continues to blow, albeit still, we would call it a breeze in South Dakota. They were talking at the Masters last weekend that the winds were blowing, ferociously at 15 to 18 miles an hour. We call that a gentle breeze up here.
I was going to say, the wind gusts around 20 miles an hour. Wind gusts 20 miles an hour? What? That's nothing. Our gusts don't start till about 30 to 35. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Runner is over the pitch. And it's taken for strike 3. The throw is high to second, but it will be a second out in the steal by Klein. And now he is in scoring position with 2 down. And that's the 4th strikeout of the game so far for Aaron Booth.
I was in Atlanta a number of years ago, just after an ice storm had moved through in the middle of the winter. Got to my motel room, turned the news on. Of course, it's the storm of the century, and they cut to this young reporter who's standing on an overpass, and she's breathlessly going, "I'm actually having to lean into the wind because it's reported that the gusts out here are upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour."
There's a swing and a miss. It's now 1-1. Yeah, that's you see. It gets the wind gusts and or a temperature of 40 degrees, and everybody is freezing as there's a swing and a miss. And it's now 1-2, and then you're going 40 degrees. We love that sometimes in January and February.
I came home and told that story to a coworker, and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh gosh, I golf in 25-mile-an-hour winds."
I was gonna say, because if we didn't do anything with 20 to 25-mile-an-hour winds, we would literally never leave our houses. There's a swing and a miss, and that will end the inning here in the bottom of the second. The 3 strikeouts of the inning, 5 in the game so far for Aaron Booth. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. A 5-0 lead for the Pierre Governors. Booth didn't get that big 0 that he was looking for. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com.
Pierre Sports Center is your local Ranger Boat and Mercury Outboard dealer. They're a must-see for your Ranger boat needs. See their selection of Mercury outboard motors for more power. Pierre Sports Center can help you with financing and other boating needs. Need service for your boat or trailer to keep you going? Pierre Sports Center is your one-stop shop. Pierre Sports Center, Ranger Boats, and Mercury Outboard, a combination that can't be beat. Pierre Sports Center, 1440 North Garfield Avenue in Pierre, or give them a call, 224-5546. When you want the best prices and best selection, go to Wegner Auto in Pierre. The certified sales staff at Wegner Auto will provide you service after the sale and how to get easy financing. Check out their website, WegnerAuto.com, or stop in. They have the best prices and won't be undersold. Wegner Auto has the region's largest selection with over 280 new and quality pre-owned vehicles. GM certified pre-owned vehicles give you peace of mind with their 12-month or 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 5-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Log on to WegnerAuto.com or stop by Wegner Auto in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer since 1907.
It is the top of the third inning, a 5-0 lead for the Pierre Governors. Elliott Life will lead things off as it will be 5, 6, and 7. Life was the only guy to not come to the plates in the top of the second when the Govs scored those 4 runs to now lead 5-0. The first pitch from Youngblood to Elliott Life is on the inside edge and taken for strike 1. Life grounded out to the second baseman in his first at-bat. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one will miss low, and it's now 1-1. We're talking about the winds. Before we got here this afternoon, it was kind of sprinkling a little bit, and then somebody goes, is it snowing right now? We go, no, we're about to play some baseball in snow if it is, as there's a ground ball to the second baseman again, and Klein will field, and Life has grounded the second baseman twice. And his two at-bats so far in this ball game as they'll bring up Jake Mayer, who walked and came around to score to lead off that top of the second inning. Well, you know, two winners ago, we had some, I guess technically be 3 winners ago now because we've already gone through this last winter. But we had so much snow going through the area, as Mayer will poke this one towards right field, but it will not be much of a poke as it was a line drive right to Rayburn. And Sam Rayburn will make the catch, and there's 2 quickly gone here in the top of the third inning.
Number 13.
But we had a night. I mean, it seemed like every night we were getting some kind of snow and some kind of accumulation of snow. But we had a night that it was going to be around 4 to 6 inches of snow that we're supposed to get, which, you know, if we have no snow on the ground, is quite a bit. But if we've already had snow on the ground, it really isn't that much difference. And I said something to my uncle that we're only supposed to get 4 to 6 inches, and he from Southeast Missouri, where 4 to 6 inches is a lot for the whole year. He just responds back was in all capital letters, only ? Like 5 times. Like, well, yeah, it's not that big of a. It's really not that big of a deal at this point this winter.
For us, you know, Northerners, yeah, that's not a huge deal.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Dino. Fouled that one to the first base side. Dirk Campbell got a glove. He's wearing gloves right now. He got a glove on it. He's got the hoodie down, or the hood off of his head for the first time here in the doubleheader. He gets pretty cold, does Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like the cold too much. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Bennett Dean. That one will come in and him in the square in the back, and Youngblood threw out an 0-2 count, so we'll lose Dean with 2 outs in the top of the third inning, and we'll allow then Deegan Huska now to come to the plate.
Yeah, and that's a tough play for a pitcher. I mean, when you're up 0-2 and then you just lose and that was an inside fastball that just got away from him. So you're up 0-2 at that point. You know, opposing batting averages are down around 100 or even under, and so to lose him on a hit by pitch, that's a tough break for the Tigers right there.
First pitch to Huska will miss low, and it's now 1-0.
Going back to the weather conversation, the first year that the Governors had high school baseball back in 2013, they played the first weekend of April, and then didn't play again until almost the 1st of May, because the next 3 weeks there was a major snowstorm came through every 7 days, and just, it was just impossible to play for the entire month of April.
Count is now 3-0, which then makes you feel kind of glad that we're sitting in 50-degree weather with no snow on the ground. We haven't had any snow through the first 3 weeks of the season, as that one will be over for strike one. Now 3-1. Of course, you made the comment that there's a chance of some snow tomorrow night, that we might get a little bit of some snow come through. 3-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss. It is now 3-2 here to Huska. So D now will get a head start.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago, I think, I want to say like 2015 maybe, the Governors played.
As the 3-2 pitch is on the outside edge, and that is taken for strike 3, and that will retire the side, and we will continue that conversation going into the bottom of the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. 2.5 gone by here in Harrisburg. Pierre has a 5-0 lead. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates. At your service, at your side. With offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
BankWest Insurance has the expertise and resources to deliver personalized service and customized solutions. As an independent agency, we shop dozens of companies to get you the best coverage at the best price. As your trusted choice for insurance coverage, we promise to go the extra mile so you can rest assured your loved ones and your assets are protected. Contact your local agent to put Bank West Insurance to work for you.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, may go down in value, equal opportunity provider.
As we welcome you back here to Harrisburg, as we have played 3.5 or 2.5, and we end at the bottom of the third inning, and it will be for the Harrisburg Tigers. It will be the top of the order. It'll be Chase Lucas, Tyson Kogel, and Timon Long that will step to the plate here to begin the bottom of the third inning, as Aaron Booth has gotten those 2 shutout innings so far. And Chase Lucas reaching on air in his first at-bat will step to the plate here for Harrisburg, who has got to try and find a way to score some runs here in this bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, to follow up on the story we started in back at just before that last half inning ended, I think it was about 2015. The Govs were playing Douglas in a I think it was a Sunday doubleheader, and
that first pitch will get out of play.
And it was one of those only in South Dakota stories. Do you play a doubleheader on a Sunday afternoon and then Douglas drives home into a winter storm warning?
Oh man, that just glad. Yeah. Oh boy, yeah. Tuesday is going to be an interesting one too, because we go to Huron, and tonight's not going to be a warm night, and today's not that warm either. But we're at least playing in the warmest part of the day. We go to Huron on Tuesday. That's going to drop down to be around 30 degrees by the low for Tuesday night around there. So as a 1-1 is fouled out of play, and it's now 1-2. We're going to be bundled up a little bit more than what we are right now. And of course, if we can catch a break without much wind, that would be very beneficial to all the fans that are going to be here at the game in Huron. But also we will have the live stream at KCCR Sports. So if you don't want to make the trip, you can still watch it on YouTube, as the 1-2 pitch is grounded to Jaden Wiebe, and the throw to first is in time. The leadoff man is retired to bring up Tyson Kogel with 1 down in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, you and I have both experienced some not very favorable weather. In fact, I heard you talking about it on air. I think it was Friday morning. I think one of the coldest nights you and I spent together on air was sitting outside the press box at Tiger Field, calling a football game 2 years ago, and I think it took me about 3 days to warm up after that game got over.
The 1-0 pitch, that was upstairs, and it's now 2-0. The good thing, the only real good thing about it is that we had Major League Baseball. The playoffs were happening at that point, so we didn't have a post-game show. We said, all right, we'll take. I think maybe the Dodgers. I don't know if they were playing at that point or not, but we took it out to baseball as soon as the game was over. We packed everything up. We got out of there because we were cold.
Yes.
We were not looking forward to being out there much longer. As the 3-0 pitch will be heading its way in and over, get me over strike to Tyson Kogel. It's now 3-1. He struck out looking in his first at bat. And that was the saving grace, is that we were able to go to another game after we were done with ours. The 3-1 pitch, that was upstairs, and that's a one-out walk issued by Aaron Booth. And that'll bring up now Timon Long with the sun out, although it's – I mean, you're in the sun a little bit because you're actually standing outside the press box right now. We're still having our conversation. I'm in the press box. With that sun out, it does feel a little bit better right now.
Oh, anytime you can get the radiation of the sun, even on a day where, like today, it was 52 degrees at first pitch, it just feels better. And so the sun is beginning to peek out. There's some blue sky starting to appear, and and I think the sun is probably going to stay out for the most part the way it looks as I look to the west. Just kind of some sporadic and broken clouds. So I think we'll probably be in the sun for the most of the rest of this second game of this doubleheader today.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, too long, comes inside, and it's now 1-1, which is I'm okay with that. I'm always okay with having some sunshine. It might turn out to be a beautiful evening here in Harrisburg. Here's 1-1 pitch. Runner is off of the pitch. That one's fisted into a shallow center field. The catch is made. A quick throw to first base will easily double off the runner at first base, and that will retire the side. So Kogel is off the pitch. A soft liner to Mayer at short, and he threw it back to first to retire the side on the double play, and that will end things here in the bottom of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base, an unconventional way of having a 1-2-3 inning, and we head to the top of the fourth with the Governor still leading 5-0 over the Harrisburg Tigers. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pure Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our top priority is providing value to our members. Since 1941, we have helped our neighbors buy homes and vehicles, finance their farms and ranches, insure their assets, and retire comfortably. From Custer to Sioux Falls, we live and work in our communities, and we treat our members like family. Visit bhfcu.com to learn more about how you can join. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by NCUA.
Home Care Services is a private agency committed to providing expert advice and specialized care to those who want to remain living independently at home. Home Care Service has a team of nurses, caregivers, and administrative staff that offers a full range of in-home support services to our area. For more information about Home Care Services, call 224-2273. Expert advice, professional care. Home Care Services, 224-2273.
As we welcome you back here to Harrisburg at top of the fourth inning, and Lucas Creighton will take over on the mound for the Harrisburg Tigers.
Creighton, third appearance on the year for Harrisburg, 6 2/3 innings pitched so far. He's got one start, 1-0 on the year, allowed 7 hits, 9 runs so far, just 5 of them earned. Has given up 6 walks and 3 hit batters, but the key stat that pops off the chart is the 13 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings. So he's averaging almost 2 strikeouts an inning for again, another left-hander. And as he goes through his warm-up pitches, a young man that comes from about not quite a sidearm delivery, but kind of a 2/3 arm slot, and so his ball is going to ride in on a lot of right-hand hitters and away from left-hand hitters, and so he kind of slots in right now as probably the number 4, number 5 pitcher in this Harrisburg lineup, and you and I've talked about it, John, over the years, that just the way the playoffs are set up in high school baseball, if you've got 4 good pitchers, you can go a long way in these high school playoffs. And right now, from what we saw out of Lucas in game number 1, it looks like Harrisburg has 3 really dominant pitchers right now.
Here's the 0-2 quick pitch to Brecken Kruger. That's outside, and it's now 1-2. 2 straight strikes here from Creighton to Brecken Kruger. He reached on an error on the bunt that was thrown out towards right field. The 1-2 pitch is at the knees and taken for strike 3, and the first man is retired. And that will bring up McGuire Rasky with one down here at the top of the fourth.
Yeah, if you in the South Dakota high school baseball playoffs, if you play 2 games in the regional setup on a weekend, and then play 2 games the next weekend in the state tournament. So if you can get 2 good starts on a day and 2 good relief appearances, you can get through the playoffs with 4 good pitchers. And right now, from what I've seen on paper and on the field today, I think Harrisburg has certainly found themselves at least three really solid pitchers. If they can get a good outing from a 4th one, they're going to be a very tough out come playoff time.
Count is 2-0 here to McGuire Rasky, and that's the beauty of high school baseball is every pitcher will be available, outside barring, as it's now 3-0 here to McGuire Rasky. You get a whole bunch of rainouts that push you so far back that you got to throw someone on on a Wednesday or Tuesday where they wouldn't be available then on that Saturday. But every pitcher would be available. As the 3-0 pitch comes inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to McGuire Rasky. And after looking dominant against Brecken Kruger in that first at-bat, he will walk Rasky on 4 straight pitches, and that'll bring up Andy Gordon, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Quick score update from Fargo. The Jackrabbits drive deep into Bison territory, but come away with a field goal and have gone up 20-17 midway through the 4th quarter.
Try and keep an eye on that. Give you a final as if we are still playing when they do go final, as the 0-1 pitch is on the outside edge. Now 0-2 here to Andy Gordon. So he will have to battle here. And right now, just by the eyeball test of what Crichton has done with the right-handers and the left-handers, it looks like he feels a little bit more comfortable throwing to right-handed hitters, because Rasky was he wasn't fully, nowhere close to the zone, but he didn't look as good as what he's done here in the first two right-handed hitters he's faced. 1-2 pitch. That one's fouled in the midst of the catcher and long, and there's a second strikeout to his second right-handed hitter he's seen in the top of the fourth inning. And that'll bring up Jaden Wiebe, another right-handed hitter, but he is 2 for 2 with 2 singles so far here in game number 2. With Rasky on at first base and 2 down here in the top of the fourth, the first pitch is over for strike 1.
Yeah, and again, Governor's get a runner on, but really need to try to move him over, get him into scoring position somehow to let the middle of this lineup try to deliver him home and add to this 5-0 lead.
0-1 pitch is outside, and it's now 1-1 here to Jaden Wiebe. He got 2 base hits. He took second, stole second, ended up being an error that gave the Govs their first run, as he'll sky that one out towards right field. The right fielder can't find it, but he went right to Rayburn. He put his hands up that he couldn't see it, but thankfully for the Harrisburg Tigers, it was hit basically right to him, so by the time he found it again, he was already in position to make the catch, and that retires the side here in the top of the fourth inning. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on here in the top of the fourth. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Governors still lead Harrisburg 5-0. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre knows what that sound is. It's baseball season. They also know that means it's grilling season. Sioux Nation has the Green Mountain Grill choices that you need for those hot dogs and burgers for tailgating. And let's be honest, you know there will be a steak in there too. Visit Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre and see their selection of grills. While you're there, also pick up some seasonings for your grilling needs. Visit Sioux Nation at 504 Deadwood Street, Fort Pierre.
As we are here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Governors have a 5-0 lead over the Harrisburg Tigers. John Wickler alongside Greg Dean. As we are in this bottom of the fourth, and the Govs with that 5-0 advantage. Again, zeros become very, very important throughout this, every inning, because you keep Harrisburg at least, they've got to score some runs before they can swing at one time and tie it up. They got to get the bases loaded, but even a grand slam wouldn't tie you up right now. So keep them at arm's length away throughout this game is big.
But the thing that Harrisburg can do is they can score in bunches. I mean, they hit the ball well, they really mash, and so you really need to keep them as much off the base paths as possible. And so far, Booth only allowed the 2 walks so far through the first 3 innings, and I think that's been part of the reason for his success so far. Just the 2 walks to go with the 5 strikeouts, 52 pitches through 3 complete for Aaron Booth so far in this game.
Here's the 0-1 pitch coming to Ben Los. That one will bounce well in front of the plate and bounce in the grass area of the turf infield. And the count is now 1-1. One of those that usually doesn't result in a swing and a miss or a swing. There's a hard line drive out to left field. That's going to drop in front of Elliott Life for a base hit. The leadoff man is aboard here to open up the bottom of the fourth inning, and that'll bring up Jack Sutton.
Designated hitter, number 9, Jack Sutton.
And that was a good play by Elliott Life. I mean, you saw him come in, hard line drive right at him, and sometimes, a lot of times for an outfielder, those are tough balls to read. And you could see he had a moment of indecision about whether do I try to make a play on this ball or do I not. And with a 5-0 lead, he made the right play, just kept the ball in front of him and held lows the batter to just a single, not try to make too much and turn it into a multi-base hit that would possibly give the Tigers some momentum.
So here's now Jack Sutton as he fouled the first pitch back. Booth from the stretch, and the 0-1 pitch comes inside, and it's now 1-1 here to Sutton. I made the comment about the pitch hitting the grass turf before it got to the plate. Unless you're Vladimir Guerrero, you're probably not swinging at that pitch. And Guerrero probably he never saw a pitch he didn't like. 1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball left side. Trying to slide over there was Mayer, but that gets through, and that would probably be a base hit. And it's now first and second here with nobody out, and to bring up Jack Tigan.
Yeah, and probably the way that ball was hit, in all likelihood, probably would have been a single anyway, because Mayer actually slid, tried to backhand the ball. Even if he gloves the ball, he's got to come up and make a long throw across the diamond to try to get Sutton. And so, long story short, that's probably a base hit, even if Mayer makes the play on that ball.
So now here is Jack Tigan, as he will step to the plates here with the first and second and nobody out. You're looking.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're looking for another ground ball and maybe hit right at someone this time. The first pitch is missed high for ball one.
Sutton had to put on the arm brace. He's just coming back off of UCL surgery. Not able to pitch yet for the Tigers. Hopefully, I'm talking to his dad, John. Sounds like maybe by the summer he'll be able to start logging some innings on the mound. But right now, just relegated to designated hitter duties. So good to see he's on the mend.
And this Harrisburg team with the Summer Legion team, they get Chase Mason to come play for them, or they're able to have Chase Mason play for them. As the 1-1 pitch, that one's fouled off the mask of the umpire, and it's now 1-2. But he had an ACL surgery, and he was running track. Maybe it wasn't this past week, but the week before, and he was looking pretty fast. So he seems to be on the mend. That at first he thought, well, probably not going to play for Harrisburg in the summer, and now seeing that, I don't think there's any way that he doesn't play for Harrisburg here this summer. The 1-2 pitch. That one's grounded. Here's a ground ball fielded by Wiebe. He'll tag the man at second, but he did not get the throw to first, and there's only one down here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That one, I think Wiebe was expecting the runner at first and Sutton to go a little bit quicker than what he did, instead of flipping it to Mayer to try and start a 4-6-3 double play. So it's now runners at the corners here with one down.
Yeah, and that's kind of a what do you do kind of a play. Do you try to tag the runner and get the quick throw to first, or do you try to start the 4-6-3 double play? Wiebe thought he might have had a better option to try to tag and make the quick throw on to first, but credit Sutton for going down, sliding, forcing Wiebe to spend just that extra half a second to try to make the tag, and by the time he did that, there was no play at first base.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's fouled back to the netting. Coming back to your living room again. It's 0-2.
If that net's not there, that one's all mine, John.
That was we got somewhat of a chance to get one, although it's going to be a real looping foul ball to come back to this press box. But there's still a chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
You got a better chance because you can catch one that's high up in the air. As that one misses upstairs, it's now 1-2. I don't get that luxury unless I stick my arm out and then I'm trying to blindly catch one. You got a chance to. I mean, you got a long way around there to try and catch it. You're standing up, we're just right outside the press box. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Runner's off with the pitch. Swing and a miss. The throw towards second, and it's going to be cut off. It was not going to be in time anyway, so good job by Wiebe to cut it off. And the strikeouts for Klein, and is now 2 down with the runners at second and third. And this is a big at-bat for Harrisburg, a big opportunity for the Govs to get another 0. This would be a big momentum shift if Harrisburg is able to score these 2 runs with 2 outs. But the Govs would take a lot of momentum back to the dugout if they can get Rayburn to retire. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. To Rayburn, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 8-9 here for the Harrisburg Tigers, both guys are 0 for 1 with strikeouts. 1-0 pitch. That one bounces in. And a good block there by Huska, and it's now 2-0.
And again, you don't want to play with fire. Runners in scoring position, 2 outs. You want to go in and attack the zone, really pound the zone right here with 2 outs and try to get Rayburn and just not allow a base runner, not allow him on to load the bases.
Count is now 3-0 here. And I think they're just going to walk him and save Booth an extra pitch. And will intentionally walk
Brings up
Rayburn.
third baseman number 17, Will Simmons.
To bring up Will Simmons. So the bases are now loaded here with 2 outs. And Will Simmons the plate. So force is at any base. Ground ball anywhere could get you out of this inning to the easiest base. And Booth will go back to work from the windup. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss by Simmons. And it's 0-1.
Yeah, and it's an interesting piece of strategy. Like you said, you take a pitch off of Aaron Booth's pitch count, but you potentially put on the third run of the game for Harrisburg if Simmons can connect and mash one right here.
That one will get away. Huska will throw the plate. Booth was not able to cover in time, and the first run will score here for Harrisburg. And it's now a 5-1 game, and runners are still in scoring position as it's second and third. 1-1 counts here to Simmons.
And again, we'll see if that strategy backfires here. Right now, just 1 run across for Harrisburg, but again, still 2 runners in scoring position for the Tigers.
1-1 pitch is at the knees, and it's now 1-2 here to Simmons.
Simmons, one of probably the ace of this Tiger staff, looked back at the umpire and goes, next time you're umpiring, I want that pitch if I'm on the mound.
1-2 pitch is upstairs, just above the letters, right around the eyes. It's now 2-2. Not a bad spot for that pitch. Trying to make Simmons swing at a ball for strike 3. So the count is now even at 2-2. The deuces are wild with 2-2 on, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch, and it's upstairs, and it's now 3-2.
Booth tried to take a little something off those last 2 pitches, trying to induce Simmons to maybe committing to one of the off-speed pitches. We'll see what he comes with on 3-2.
So now here comes the 3-2 pitch to Simmons. That one's fouled back, and we'll do it again here with a full count at 3-2. 5-1 is their score here in the bottom of the 4th. Harrisburg picked up their first run on a wild pitch from Booth. There's still 2 runners in scoring position. And here comes the 3-2. That's another walk issued by Booth.
Walk to Simmons.
And that will be the bases loaded again with Chase Lucas, the top of the order here for Harrisburg. And Dirk Campbell will make his way out to talk with Aaron Booth. Score update, Jacob Mayer sent a quick message, 27-17 now SDSU leading NDSU with around under 3 minutes left to go.
All right, we'll see if we can. Isaiah Davis in from 5 yards out for the Jackrabbits.
Midway through the 4th,
so SDSU looking like they're going to get an automatic berth in the playoffs, which again, both teams were destined pretty much to go to the playoffs. It's hard to imagine a playoffs. I guess if this would be the year that both teams don't make it, if that was going to happen. But it's hard to, with everything going on and limited amount of games being played, it's hard to say that SDSU and NDSU don't deserve to both be in the playoffs.
I think the last time that North Dakota State did not make the football playoffs, I think man was just starting to walk upright.
Here's Chase Lucas. The bases loaded. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. And now all of a sudden here with Lucas up to the plate, they've got that 1 run so far, and a ball that leaves the yard ties this game up all of a sudden. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That one's at the knees, and it's now 1-1 here to Chase Lucas. He reached on an air to lead off the bottom of the 1st. He also grounded out to the second baseman, Wiebe, and his 2 at-bats so far. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a hard ground ball that's foul down the first base line. And it's now 1-2, and now Booth a strike away from getting out of this inning.
Yeah, and this is just a situation where Aaron Booth just has to go out and just challenge Chase Lucas and say, this is my best pitch. And, if you beat me, you hit my best pitch. And Aaron certainly has that ability. I mean, he looks very comfortable on the mound right now.
1-2. That one misses low, and it's now 2-2.
I had him rung up from up here, John.
the runner at second, that is Sam Rayburn. He is halfway to third base. He's passing up the 2-2, and that one just misses upstairs. Lucas nearly put his elbow out to try and get hit by the pitch, and the count is now full 3-2, and everybody will be off with the pitch. I'm saying, not necessarily saying you got to pick off Rayburn at second, but he was getting past Jake Mayer. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Popped up. Going out into center field. McGuire Rasky will come in. He'll make the catch, and the Governors will get out of a bases-loaded jam in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on base. Harrisburg is on the board, but the Governors still lead 5-1 after 4 innings. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
This is the life. Sitting here, sipping lemonade, basking in the warm sun, and admiring the beauty and the solitude of my very own landscaped backyard. I wasn't sure, but I was so glad when I made the call to Andy at Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping to finally have the work done. Calling Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping was probably one of the best and the easiest decisions I've ever made.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, 280-4440. That's 280-4440.
We're back here at Harrisburg. We are in the top of the 5th inning. The Governors have a 5-1 lead as for Pierre to open up this 5th inning. It'll be 4, 5, and 6. Aaron Booth. Then it'll be Elliot Life and Jake Mayer. Walking down to the bullpen right now for the Pierre Governors is McGuire Rasky. Rasky has not thrown since the first inning of the I believe the first home game of the season for Post 8 last summer. The first pitch will miss to Aaron Booth for ball 1. At some point, or I guess after that first inning, Rasky got hurt, and it was thought that he was going to need Tommy John surgery, which would have basically ended his football, ended his athletic career in high school. And he did not have to have surgery, and now he is expected to be able to pitch this spring and summer as the first pitch pops into foul territory, and that will be caught for out number 1 by Los, and that'll bring up Elliot Life with 1 down the top of the 5th.
Yeah, and I think I think the plan for both the spring and the summer for McGuire Rasky is just kind of not necessarily treat him with kid gloves, but certainly just put him in situations where he can succeed. And I think right now, I think Aaron Booth has 80 pitches through 4 innings, so he's on pace to probably pitch. I suspect he will probably come out and start the 5th inning. If he gets a quick inning, maybe he comes out to pitch the 6th. But you're probably going to need it. You're going to need somebody to close. I mean, ideally, unless Booth just really gets into 3 really quick innings here to finish this game.
Count is 3-0 here to Elliot Life, and I mentioned during the commercial break that I'd said if someone goes down there, you would think that he'll probably be done, but if nobody goes down there, he's going to go back out. As a 3-0 is missed, and it's now a 1-out walk issued to Elliot Life, and that'll bring up Jake Mayer. But because it's McGuire Rasky who is in the field right now, then it turns into, well, maybe he's not done because Rasky's just warming up just in case he needs to go in the bottom of the 5th inning. So here is now Jake Mayer. The first pitch to Mayer. I want to get off the glove of Long, into second base will go Elliott Life. And he is now at second with one down here in the top of the fifth inning.
And it'll be an interesting defensive substitution with what they do with Aaron Booth. When he comes off the mound, I suspect they will probably want to keep his bat in the lineup, especially since they have a little bit of a short bench today with the kids at the ACT test, playing basketball, running track. So they don't quite have their full roster with them today. So we'll see what. A lot of strategy that will be played out here in the last couple of innings for the Governors.
Count is 1-1 here to Jake Mayer, and the 1-1 pitch. Mayer tried to bunt, and it will go foul, and it's now 1-2. As Crichton, the second lefty here for Harrisburg, in his second inning of work. As Mayer down 1-2 in the count, and and again, we mentioned that in the first inning of the first game, but this is exactly why Steve Gray has a big roster that he has, because you're able then to have guys miss forward track and taking the ACT today, and being able to have that advantage of having still enough guys to be able to have a deep bench, albeit a shorter bench than that you're used to having. Here's a 2-2 pitch from Crichton to Mayer. On the outside edge, it's looked at for strike 3, and there's now 2 down, and that'll bring up Bennett Dean.
And the final is in Fargo, and the Jackrabbits have broken the NDSU 32-game home win streak with a 27-17 victory, and the Dakota Marker comes back to Brookings for at least the next 4 months, 5 months.
I was going to
Can't say the next year.
Yeah, it technically could still go back here in 2021 back to North Dakota State. For a lot of Jackrabbit fans, you hope that it stays in Brookings for next years to come. That 1-0 pitch misses inside to Bennett Dean, and is now 2-0.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. I think a little earlier you said Crichton definitely tougher on right-handers today than he is on left-handers. Walked Elliott Life, the left-hander, now 2-0 to Dean.
There's a swing and a miss by Dean. That one was a good pitch there from Crichton. Just missed, and it's now 2-1. Here to the left-handed hitting first baseman Bennett Dean.
And just when I say he's tougher on righties than he is on lefties, then he throws a strike to the left-handed hitting Dean.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. That one is over and is now 2-2.
I just need to keep my mouth shut.
I got a dial right here that I can turn down. Count is 2-2.
Any projections or observations the color guy gives, just turn down the mic.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Dean. He'll foul that one away, and it remains at 2-2. That's right. A couple weeks, 2 weeks ago, you made the comment about how quick the game was going, and
it slowed down significantly.
That didn't work out so well for us. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one is low and is now 3-2. A back pick. Elliott Life's going to take off for third. Now he's going to get into a pickle, and he's going to be tagged out to end here at the top of the fifth inning. I don't think he saw that throw right away. I think he thought the shortstop had it a lot quicker than what he did, but that ends the top of the fifth, and Bennett Dean will come back up to the plate in the top of the sixth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We have played 4.5, and it is a 5-1 lead here for the Pierre Governors. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom's today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com.
ATVs provide wonderful outdoor recreation, but they can also rapidly spread noxious weeds. An ATV can pick up noxious weeds in one area and spread them to the next area in which it is used. When you finish your ride, make sure your ATV is free of weeds and weed seeds. Cleaning your machine is important in stopping the spread of noxious weeds like leafy spurge. To find out how you can help prevent the spread of noxious weeds, call the South Dakota Department of Agriculture or your local county weed and pest supervisor.
As we are back here at Harrisburg, it is a 5-1 lead for the Governors as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. And for the Harrisburg Tigers, it will be 2, 3, and 4. Tyson Kogel, Timon Long, and Ben Lose to lead things off here for Harrisburg. Aaron Booth is still on the mound here for the Governors, and he's looking for a quick inning with 80 pitches through 4 innings. First pitch is over for strike 1. This becomes a big important inning here. If he can get through those 5 innings with the 5-1 lead, and then if you go to McGuire, Rasky next, or whoever you might go to, but just getting through those 5 innings would be big here for Aaron Booth after a 7 guys came to the plate in the bottom of the 4th. And it's quickly 0-2 here, the leadoff hitter in Tyson Kogel.
Let's take a quick peek at the available hitters or available pitchers for the Governors. Just kind of as you look around the among the position players, you got Bennett Dean at first base, Jake Mayer at shortstop, Elliott Life out in left field. Rasky, we have talked about, has warmed up in the bullpen, but then you also have let's see here. As I go down my lineup, at least the ones with who have pitched so far this year, the other one who would be available is Jackson Edmond off the bench.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's skied out to left field. Elliott Life still going over, dives and can't make the catch. And it's going to be a leadoff double here for Tyson Kogel. Life, I wouldn't say he was jogging, but it looked like he wasn't running full speed. I think that wind kind of messed with it a little bit, thinking that ball was going to go a lot farther out there than what it did. And then last second made that diving attempt and just couldn't make the catch. So the leadoff man is aboard here to lead in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, I think you're right, John. Just a ball that either he didn't get a really good read on, or the wind just played with it a little bit and tried to catch up at the end, and with that made a dive at the end but was not able to come up. And we've got a pitching change, and Aaron Booth, notable effort today, 4+ innings. He is responsible for the runner on second base, but really good outing for Aaron Booth today.
So we will tell you the changes and the defensive changes here when we come back in this minute break. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
Service Master of Pierre. It's no secret we clean carpets professionally, but not many people know we clean furniture, kitchens, bathrooms, walls, floors, and windows. We also do fire and water restoration, plus construction cleanups. There's nothing we can't clean. Give Service Master a call at 224-9919. Service Master. The clean you expect, the service you deserve. Service Master, 224-9919.
As we are back here at Harrisburg, a couple of changes here. So Jake Mayer is going to be on the mound here for the Pierre Governors. Taking over at shortstop will be Cade Kaiser, and then Aaron Booth will stay in the game, and he'll be out in the outfield. Right now, the way the guys are lined up, that he'd be in left field with Rasky and Kruger both staying in center and right field. But Cade Kaiser is into the game now in Elliott Life's spot in the batting order, but at shortstop now defensively.
For Jake Mayer on the year, this is his second appearance, 1 1/3 innings so far on the year. His one appearance was a start. He's 0-0 on the year, has allowed 2 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned 4 walks, 1 strikeout. Those four runs in 1 1/3 innings resulted in a 21.0 ERA for Jake Mayer, but we'll see if he can get a good outing today and really try to put a dent in that ERA today. Big situation here, runner on second, leadoff double for Kogel, and a big spot here for Mayer.
First pitch is taken for ball 1 to Timon Long, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and he also lined out to the shortstop, and Mayer, who at that point was at the shortstop, part of a double play to end that third inning. 1-0 pitch misses and is now 2-0. And again, a 5-1 lead here for the Govs, so some breathing room, but you love to keep that a 4-run advantage through the end of this 5th inning, but the leadoff man is in scoring position. 2-0 pitch. That one will bounce, get away from Huska, and now 90 feet away from scoring is going to be Kogel.
And what you really would like to see, I'm sure if you're Coach Steve Gray for the Governors, is really see Mayer get you through the 5th, get you through the 6th inning, and then if you got to close, you can bring Rasky in to try to pitch the 7th to finish the game out.
3-0 pitch is over for strike 1, and see if Mayer can work from there. He's now going to the windup with a runner on third base. Here with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning, runner at third. That is Tyson Kogel. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one's fouled out of play. And from 3-0 is now 3-2 here to Timon Long. That'll be Ben Lose and Jack Sutton, the next 2 hitters here for Harrisburg. Kogel and Long were the 2 guys that didn't come to the plate in that 4th inning. 3-2 pitch. Lined right back up the middle for a base hit and an RBI single for Timon Long, and is now a 5-2 ball game.
Line drive single.
Line drive right back up the middle, right through the box, and Tigers have
first baseman number 24,
plated the leadoff hitter, and it's now 5-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. Still nobody out right now.
So here is now Ben Lose to come to the plate. Lose is 1 for 1. He walked and then singled. He came around to score. Leadoff man reached base. He was the leadoff man that reached base with a single in the bottom of the 4th inning that came around to be, at that point, was Harrisburg's only run. First pitch is over for strike 1 from Jake Mayer. Mayer had a good outing
to run for the catcher
last summer here.
Carlson.
He was the winning pitcher in game 1 of that doubleheader against Harrisburg. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Runner is off. That one's outside. The throw to second is not going to be in time. It's going to get into center field, and heading to third base will be now Long, and another runner is 90 feet away on the throwing error from Huska. And so there's a runner at third base, nobody out still. Count is 1-1 to Lose.
And we talked about the Tiger ability to score in bunches, and so what Mayer needs to do is really try to nip this in the bud right now. I mean, if you give up the runner on third, that's okay, but you can't. You really need to nip this rally in the bud right now, and not let Harrisburg really gain any more momentum than what they're starting to put together now in this rally.
2-1 pitch is outside, and it's now 3-1. Yeah, a ground ball to get you out, get this guy out. Even if the run comes in to score, you still have a 2-run lead, but more importantly, you got that first out here in the inning. You don't want to set this guy up on base. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one's fouled away, and it's another full count here. And again, Mayer can work from the windup with that runner at third base again.
And that first out of the inning is sometimes the toughest one to get. And once you get that, then things kind of can flow from there. But this is a big pitch right here. Full count, nobody out, runner on third. If you can get an out here one way, shape, or form, maybe shift the momentum back to the Governor's side a little bit.
3-2 pitch is upstairs, and it's a walk. And so the runners are at the corners.
Brings up designated hitter number 9, Jack Sutton.
Jack Sutton now represents the tying run. And the Govs got to find a way, again, a ground ball here, even if that run scores, if you can at least get one guy out or even turn a double play, put yourselves, again, with 2 outs. Yeah, you give up that run, but you got to find out somewhere here. Runners of the corners, Jack Sutton, he is 1 for 2. First pitch to Sutton. Outside for ball 1.
Mayer's had a little trouble. Seems like he's missing on the outside part of the plate. If he can bring that pitch in just about 6 inches, hit that outside corner, he could live there all night.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside, and it's now 2-0. And again, how short of a leash do you give Mayer with the if you walk this guy and you end up getting Jack Tigan the plate with the bases loaded? Do you go to McGuire-Rasky, or I don't know if he's even the next guy, in the line to pitch, as that one's at the letters, and it's now 2-1 here to Jack Sutton.
Yeah, there's no activity in the Governor bullpen, so that means it's likely not Jackson Edmond would be the next one up.
Here's the now 2-1 pitch outside, and it's now 3-1. You could go to Bennett Dean. You could go to McGuire-Rasky. Elliott Life was in the game, but he's come out, so it would be probably one of those two guys. 3-1 pitch. That one is skied out to right field. Going back on it, still going back, and it's going to be foul. A long foul ball that's one-hopped off the wall. The Harrisburg bench was ready to erupt. If that ball had gotten out to tie the game up on a 3-run homer, that would have been an absolute momentum killer for the Govs, and it would have been huge for the Harrisburg Tigers.
Yeah, and right-handed hitting Sutton, that ball just kept tailing, and the wind, what wind there is, just kind of kept pushing it toward the right field corner, and luckily for the Governors, it ended up about 15 feet in foul territory.
3-2 pitch. That one's fouled back to the netting, and it will remain at 3-2. Boy, 2-strike approach is the same as a no-strike approach for the Harrisburg Tiger team. Sutton was about coming out of his shoes on that swing, and it's still a full count.
Interestingly, Sutton doesn't wear the arm brace when he's hitting, but does wear it when he gets on base.
Here's the 3-2 pitch again. That one is outside, and that's another walk issued.
Sutton
and the bases are now loaded.
Brings to the plate,
and that will bring Dirk
Jack
Campbell
Tigan
back out to the mound. And that will bring in now McGuire-Rasky. And so now Spencer Lettler will go out to play out in center field. But that will end the day for Jake Mayer. And Cade Kaiser. We'll tell you all about the defensive changes. There's guys running left and right here. But it is a bases loaded jam here for McGuire-Rasky as he'll come to the mound. We'll step aside for a minute, tell you the changes after this. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner. They'll answer your questions, and they'll even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy is the pharmacy you know and trust. That number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre. Proud to support high school athletics.
Comtech in Pierre invites you to come out and check out their expansive showroom. It's filled with everything you need to thrive in today's technology-dependent world and a knowledgeable staff to guide you through. Comtech has TVs, computers, personal electronics to commercial electronics, anything to fit your technology needs. The experienced professionals at Comtech can guide you through any questions you may have. Whether you struggle with technology or live for it, Comtech can help you find exactly what you're looking for. Comtech will even install and service what they sell, so you don't have to worry once you get your products home. Comtech, located at 1601 North Lowell Avenue behind Walmart. Check them out online at comtechplus.com.
As we welcome you back here to Harrisburg, the bases are loaded in the bottom of the fifth with nobody out, and McGuire-Rasky is making his debut. And it's a great sight to see to have McGuire-Rasky back out on the mound, but it's a huge situation for McGuire-Rasky. Greg, you mentioned that you're going to try and put him in a spot to succeed. He's got to succeed here in this one because he's got no room for error on the first batter that he's facing. He gets on base, another run comes in to score. Spencer Lettler is out in center field. Mayer's back to short. So Lettler will be in the batting order where Kate Kaiser was, going to be in for Elliott Life. And the first pitch is over for strike one from McGuire-Rasky. After being injured in the first inning, of the his first starts back in the 2020 summer. He now has an 0-2 count. Thinking that Tommy John surgery was imminent. Saw a couple different options from different doctors and did not have Tommy John surgery, and he is now on the mound again for the Pierre Governors. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and there's a big strikeout. And boy, that gives you a little bit of chills. Gives me some chills with that strikeout. Rasky, I know that's just the first batter, and he'd love to keep doing that the entire season, but to see that happen is just such a big strikeout there for McGuire Rasky personally for him. But the bases are still loaded with one down. That one will get away, and the run's going to try and score, and he will score. The throw came in, and it's now a 5-3 game. That one nearly got away from Rasky. So after 3 straight strikes, he throws one the backstop, and it's now a 5-3 game with, again, now the tying run is in scoring position with a 1-0 count.
Yeah, and it's just good to see Rasky out back on the mound. Just, you can see he's got the confidence, kind of what you'd expect out of one of your senior leaders, that kind of moxie and confidence that he comes in with. But again, he hasn't pitched in almost a year.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one nearly got to the backstop again. So after 3 straight strikes to get a strikeout in that first batter that he faced in Tigan, he's now gotten a 3-0 count here to Taylor Klein. And he's in danger of walking the go-ahead run to put him on base. Here with one down the bottom of the fifth. 3-0. That one is over for strike one. On deck is Sam Rayburn, and then it'll be Will Simmons after that. I'm not sure who would be next to throw for the Governors. If Rasky can't finish this ball game out.
Walk to Klein,
but there's a walk
fielder,
to Taylor
Sam
Klein,
Rayburn.
and the bases are again loaded. And that'll bring Sam Rayburn. And the Govs are being doomed by the free passes in the last 2 innings. And have given Harrisburg a lot of life. Here's the first pitch to Rayburn. That one's over, off-speed pitch that gets over for strike one.
Yeah, same thing that did the Governors in game number 1 was the free passes and hit by pitches, and the walks are coming back to give Harrisburg some life here in game number 2.
Well, one pitch is high and outside, and it's now 1-1.
The level of chatter and volume has switched sides now. Now the Governor dugout very quiet, Harrisburg dugout very, very boisterous right now.
1-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss. It's now 1-2. Have 5 walks in the last 2 innings from the Governors. And 3 of those 5, well, actually not even, the walks haven't come back to all score, but still 3 runs have scored in the last 2 innings. And still threatening. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Misses low, and is now 2-2. Again,
didn't miss by much.
And nowhere to put Rayburn. On deck is Will Simmons. So now here is the 2-2 pitch from McGuire Rasky upstairs, and it's now 3-2.
One of the highlights of my fandom in Pierre was watching McGuire Rasky as an 8th grader defeat Post 22 during the state tournament back in the summer of 2017 as Post 8 went on to win the state championship that year.
There's a big strikeout, swinging strikeout by Sam Rayburn, and that'll bring up Will Simmons with the bases loaded and 2 down. That was a big moment for McGuire Rasky for the Pierre community in general, as the first pitch is just outside for ball 1 to Will Simmons.
Yeah, that was a night where he battled and battled and battled. I think he walked 6 in 6 innings and just pitched out of jam after jam all night long, and was able to come away with the victory that night that set the Governors up, or set Post 8 up and kept them undefeated through 3 games of the state tournament, and then beat Aberdeen the next night, and then the extra inning win on Sunday, the nail biter in 11 innings to defeat Mitchell for the state championship. Certainly one of the highlights of Pierre baseball in the last several decades.
2-0 pitch is a swing and a miss by Simmons. It is now 2-1 to the number 9 hitter. Bases are loaded. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Govs still lead 5-3 over Harrisburg. 2-1 pitch. That one's to the backstop, and it's now 3-1, and another run will come in to score. And it's a 5-4 game. So 2 wild pitches have allowed runners to score in this inning. And a base hits now could give Harrisburg the lead with their go-ahead run in scoring position. So the count is 3-1. 2 Simmons on deck is Chase Lucas, leadoff hitter. He'd be the number 9 guy to come to the plate. 3-1 pitch. That one's over, and it's now 3-2.
And what the wild pitch did not only allowed the run to score, but now took away the force all over the place. And so if there's a ground ball, it's got to go to first base.
3-2 pitch, a swing and a miss from Simmons, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But another 3 runs will score here for the Harrisburg Tigers, and they have pulled within 1 run. 5-4 lead for the Pierre Governors after 5 innings. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball. Today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
South Dakota didn't always have a capital, or even a permanent settlement for that matter. There wasn't always a river city on the Missouri River. And before First Dakota filed the first charter in 1872, there wasn't always a bank in South Dakota. Every timeless institution, tradition, and thriving business was started somewhere by someone who had a dream and the passion to make it happen first. What will be your South Dakota first? Visit firstdakota.com/first. Member FDIC.
Do you need the Pierre Governor apparel for the big game? Or how about Stanley County apparel or Post-State apparel? All Around Graphics in Pierre is your place to go. Not only can you get your apparel, but they also do screen printing, jerseys, awards, and trophies. And did you know they can print and customize your signs? All Around Graphics can do it all. Located at 819 North Euclid Avenue, or call 224-4677. All Around Graphics in Pierre, your one-stop shop.
As we welcome you back here to Harrisburg, we are in the top of the 6th inning. John Michael alongside Greg Dean. You're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. As here for the Governors,
Top of the 6th for Pierre.
it will be Bennett Dean that step back to the plates. He was up to the plates to end the top of the 5th after then Elliott Life was picked off between 2nd and 3rd, so he'll get another chance here to see Crichton. Here's the first pitch to Dean, who was 1 for 1. He doubled and also was hit by a pitch, and that first pitch would have hit a right-handed hitter as he went to the backstop, but Bennett Dean batting left-handed, so not in any danger on that pitch. Here's the now going to be the 1-0 pitch coming from Crichton, who works from the stretch with nobody on base, and that one's over for strike 1. The count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike here in the top of the 6th. Govs are with that 5-4 lead, clinging to it right now after jumping out to a 5-0 lead after just an inning and a half. Count is now 2-1. Scored 4 in that top of the 2nd. That was a long time ago. Not scored in the last 3 innings. 2-1 pitch. Outside. Now 3-1.
Yeah, just again, Governors need to start putting some offense back together. After that 4 spot, the bats have gone silent again, and so just need to reignite the offense here in the top of the 6th inning.
3-1 pitch. Dean ropes it out to right field. That one's going deep, and that one will one hop off the wall, and Dean will have himself a second double. He's going to round second. He's going to stop at second with a leadoff double, his second double of the game. And the Govs have had 2 extra base hits in their last 4 games, and they've both come from Bennett Dean.
Yeah, just a line drive down into the right field corner, and I thought Rayburn was going to overrun the ball enough because the ball came off of the corrugated steel out in right field. Took kind of a weird hop. Thought Rayburn was going to overrun it to the point that might have allowed Dean to get to 3rd, but Rayburn made a nice play, nice recovery, kept Dean to a double, and so the Governors have a little bit of a threat here going in the top of the 6th with nobody out and a leadoff man on second base.
First pitch is missed for Huska. He was showing bunt. And now Crichton again. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Huska started to show bunt again, pulled it back, and it'll take another ball. It's now 2-0. Corrugated steel. That's words that I never thought I'd hear you say today.
Yeah, I'm just no farm kid. I worked on corrugated steel in my youth, long time ago.
Here's the 2-0 pitch to Huska. Again showing bunt, pulls it back, but it will take strike one, and it's now 2-1. Well, Bill Van Camp would be here. He'd be
all over that one.
Yeah, I'm sure if he's listening right now, he's sitting the phone out trying to send you a text right now. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Huska shows bunt, will get to the backstop, and it's now 3-1, and Benedine is 90 feet away from getting an insurance run here for the Govs with nobody out in the top of the sixth inning. And for the Govs, Dean is a must score. Guy at third base with nobody out, he's a must score in this inning for the Govs. If they want, they don't lose the game if he doesn't score, but that gives Harrisburg a lot of momentum if he does not score at some point in this top of the sixth inning.
Yeah, and so the bunt's probably off for Huska, but now he needs a fly ball or something to the right side.
3-1 pitch. That one missed, and it will be a walk with nobody out, and the runners are now in the corners here for Brecken Kruger, who is 0 for 2. He reached on an error and also struck out looking, as Isaac Pollock will come back out to run for Huska. And nobody out here in the top of the sixth inning. First and third, and you don't want to hit into a double play by any means, but even if that does get the run home, that's a big still run for the Govs. There's a ground ball to the third baseman. Fielded, the long throw to first by Simmons is in time. The runner does advance to second base, but because the ball was hit right to the third baseman, Simmons, Dean was not able to score. And so now there is a runner at second and third with 14, one down.
Yeah, nice play by Simmons at third base. Just took the ball on two hops, realized he really didn't have a play at second base, and so just made the throw across the diamond to first base and was able to retire Kruger down the line. So the Governors now have two runners in scoring position, and leadoff batter, senior McGuire Rasky at the plate. Big situation here. Rasky could really help himself with a base hit.
First pitch nearly comes in and hits Rasky. He was able to duck out of the way in time, and it's 1-0. Rasky is 0 for 1 so far. He was retired on a ground out and had a sacrifice bunt, and then he walked. That one will bounce off of Long, but didn't bounce far enough away for Dean to score, so now it's 2-0. And again, that's a good job there by Dean. It didn't go far enough away, but he also didn't get that initial break right away. He hesitated, and when you hesitate, just head back to the base. Don't, unless it really gets away from someone. Any kind of hesitation means go back to the base. 2-0 pitch is grounded to the top of the Harrisburg dugout, and then dribbled down by Dirk Campbell over at first base. And the throw goes low to the pitcher, Crichton. I think Dirk did that on purpose. Try to get a little bit of advantage, trying to throw the pitcher off.
Maybe. But going back to the read that Dean made on the ball, heads-up play by Pollock not to run Dean off of third. I mean, made sure that Dean had committed to home before he took off for third, and so he stays at second, doesn't run the Govs into an awkward situation, and Rasky's now run the count to 3-1.
So here is a big pitch here with Andy Gordon on deck. 3-1 pitch. Comes in and hits McGuire Rasky, and that will put him at first, and the bases are now loaded.
Rasky's hit by pitch brings up
with one down here in the top of the sixth
Gordon.
inning. And you have your biggest RBI guy that returns from last summer in Andy Gordon to the plate, who's looking to get his first hits of this weekend, of this doubleheader. After going 0 for 3 in game one, he's 0 for 2 so far. First pitch swings and misses. And it's 0-1 to Andy Gordon.
And again, we talked about Crichton struggling with the left-handers. Dean the double, hit by, and Rasky gets hit by the pitch. And then Gordon's able to swing through the first pitch.
And Gordon will ground it almost into an inning-ending double play. The ball will get away from the first baseman, and 2 runs will score. It was not caught cleanly by the first baseman over at first base, as Los couldn't field it cleanly. We got right in front of him. Pollock never broke stride and scored from second base. And 2 runs come in. It's a 7-4 lead here for the Governors. Nearly an inning double play. Turns into 2-run scoring on a fielder's choice.
And I think Lowe's thought he had that ball long enough that he should have, just his body language thought he should have gotten the out, should have gotten the call at first base, but the field umpire very quickly said no, you did not have the ball long enough. Ball had popped out of his glove, and then it took Lowe's about a second and that to recover, and that's what allowed Pollock to come all the way around from second base on that ground ball and score.
Count is 1-1 here to Jaden Wiebe. So that's 2 big runs there for the Governors. They're back up by 3 here in the top of the 6th. Here's the 1-1 upstairs. Now 2-1 to Wiebe. He is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Flew out to right field in his last at-bat in the top of the 4th.
So is that a 2 RBI fielder's choice for Andy Gordon?
I would think so, because as that one is going to be fouled away, and it's now 2-2 because you can't assume the double play.
Can't assume the double play. It's not an error.
It's not an error. Yeah, nobody had a bad throw, and Los didn't have a bad throw home. And you can probably make the argument too that if Gordon's safe at first, whether it's feel it cleanly or not, that Pollock is still safe at home. So I would give him 2 RBIs on a fielder's choice.
That's the visiting team home bias.
Count is 3-2.
Visiting team home bias. How do you work that one?
Gordon's on for the pitch. That one's floated out to right field. Gordon around second. He's going to get to third base. Gordon might try. They're not going to wave him in or will hold him off at third base. The throw comes all the way in to home. So then taking second will be Wiebe. And with that throw coming in, Gordon probably could have scored, but you also don't want to test it with the number 4 hitter, Aaron Booth, to the plate. But now there's 2 runners on that overthrow of the cutoff man has given the Govs 2 guys in scoring position here, and a base hit could make it 9-4.
Yeah, and that's just a fundamental miscue of hitting when you miss the cutoff man with the throw coming all the way through and up the line. Wiebe going to second base, and so the Governors get a couple in scoring position.
And Gordon will score on a wild pitch from the pitcher in Crichton. So Gordon not going on that first pitch is beneficial to him scoring then on the first pitch thrown to Aaron Booth as he scores on a wild pitch. And it's now an 8-4 lead here for the Govs. And at third base will be Jaden Wiebe.
And a nice response here for the Governors here in the top of the 6th after giving up that four spot in the bottom of the 5th to Harrisburg. The Governors respond back right away with 3 here in the top of the 6th and go back up by 4, 8-4.
That's a big lead here now for the Govs again, or a big inning here for the Govs. Scoring 3 times and still threatening with a runner at third with 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch is over for strike 1, and it's now 2-1. And again, this is a game for the Pierre Governors that a win would be absolutely huge because you're beating a team that's undefeated, yes, but also because of all the power points that you get with beating a team that would be losing for the first time, as the count is now 2-2 as Booth fouling that one out of play. And like you said, between games, that it kind of keeps you in that 4, 5, and 6 range with the win because of all the power points that you're going to get with a win against Harrisburg. 2-2 outside, and it's now 3-2.
And if you can stay in that 4, 5, 6 range, give yourself a chance to potentially sneak into that 4 spot, or maybe even higher, and have a chance to host that regional playoff game. That's quite an accomplishment for this team.
So here is now the 3-2 pitch to Aaron Booth. There's a ground ball to the left side. It'll be fielded by the shortstop Kogel. The throw to first, it will end the inning. But the Govs strike for 3 runs, and they are back up by 4 after 5.5. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
We pride ourselves on providing our customers with reliable markets, superior services, and quality products. From corn and soybeans to spring and winter wheat, you can trust Agtegra in Highmore with all your grain handling needs. It's all about helping you achieve the best harvest possible. Call Agtegra of Highmore today at 605-846-1379. That's 605-846-1379.
Are you building a new home or remodeling the old? Adding a fireplace can make a house a home. Olson Plumbing in Pierre carries a full line of Heat-A-Later fireplaces. Whether your taste is traditional or contemporary, Olson Plumbing has a great selection of Heat-A-Later fireplaces that will fit any style. Whether you're building new or updating, call Olson Plumbing. Heat-A-Later Fireplaces, the first name in fireplaces. Olson Plumbing in Pierre is your source for the industry's largest selection of indoor-outdoor fireplaces, either gas or wood, and outdoor fire pits. Stop by their showroom at 2803 East Wells or give them a call, 224-6436.
As we welcome you back here to Harrisburg at the bottom of the sixth inning, a 8-4 lead for the Pierre Governors. John Winkler alongside Greg Dean as McGuire Rask will be out for his second inning of work.
Yeah, we'll close the book on both Aaron Booth, the starter, and Jake Mayer, the reliever. Booth, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, 2 runs, 1 earned, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts on an 87-pitch day for Aaron Booth. For Jake Mayer, he did not retire a batter, gave up a hit, 2 runs, both of them earned on 2 walks. So McGuire Rask out for his second inning of work, 20 pitches in that first inning. We'll see if he can come away with a little quicker inning here in the bottom of the sixth.
As the first pitch misses upstairs for to Chase Lucas, the top of the order here on the bottom of the sixth inning for this Harrisburg team. The 1-0 pitch from McGuire Rask. That one is over and is now 1-1.
And you always like to see, if you're Steve Gray and the rest of the Pierre coaching staff, you always like to see the top of the order and the middle of the order come up in the sixth. You don't want to see them come up to lead off a tight ball game in the bottom of the seventh when things can tighten up pretty quickly, especially the way that this team can score in bunches.
1-1 pitch is a swing and a miss, and is now 1-2 here to Lucas. It'll be Lucas, Kogel, and then Long. 1-2 pitch from McGuire Rask. A check swing did not go, and a good job there by Lucas to hold up, and the count is now 2-2. Again, the Govs will take on Huron next this coming Tuesday on the 20th, 5 and 7 o'clock for that doubleheader. Brookings will be at home for the first time at 5 and 7. There's a swing and a miss by Lucas, and then third straight strikeout in a row here for McGuire Rask. And there's one down here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Then we head to Sioux Falls to play Roosevelt on that following Friday on 4:30 at 6 and 8 o'clock. And then we'll be still in Sioux Falls to face Yankton and O'Gorman. And then on May 1st, on that Saturday. Here's the first pitch outside for ball 1.
Yeah, just checked the forecast for Huron on Tuesday. High of 45, 15-mile-an-hour winds and partly cloudy. I think I saw that by Thursday it's supposed to be like 60. I would not be at all opposed to moving the game to Thursday. 15 degrees difference this time of year can be a big deal.
Absolutely, and especially a high of 45. But we're gonna be playing when it gets dark over there. 2-0, 3-0 count now is to Tyson Kogel. So that 45 degrees won't be 45 by the time we get through the middle part of the second game.
I think the coldest baseball game I ever sat through was a doubleheader out in Rapid City. It was 39 degrees at first pitch at 5 o'clock Mountain Time with about a 20-mile-an-hour wind, and it did not get any warmer the rest of the night.
I'm glad I wasn't there for that one.
By the middle of the second game, what crowd was left was standing over in front of the concession stand, 1 to get out of the wind, but 2 to catch whatever warmth was coming off the popcorn popper that night.
As there's a one-out walk to Tyson Kogel to bring up Timon Long. And then I think about back. I was probably still in high school, went to a Cardinal game on a Friday night that was really cold, and it probably was much warmer than what it is right now. And I was freezing. But if only I knew how used to the cold I would get at some points in my life. As the first pitch is outside for ball 1 to Timon Long, who is 1 for 3 with a RBI single back in the fifth inning. He struck out and also lined out to the shortstop. 1-0 pitch. Outside, now 2-0 from McGuire Rask to Timon Long. Ben Lose is on deck, followed by Jack Sutton.
Yeah, I was asking Sam Kenneke, former assistant coach for the Governors, who played baseball at presentation. I said, after that Rapid City game, I said, what was the coldest game you ever played in? I said, was that the coldest game you ever participated in? Was that doubleheader out in Rapid City? He goes, no. He said, when I was playing at Presentation, he said, we played a doubleheader in Duluth. He said it was 33 degrees at first pitch. There was snowflakes in the air, and the wind was blowing in off Lake Superior.
3-1 pitch is upstairs, or 3-0 pitch is upstairs, and it's back-to-back walks here from McGuire Rasky with one down in the bottom of the sixth.
Number 24,
and then Ben Lose will come to play, but Dirk Campbell will come out of the mound, and it looks like that's going to be the end for McGuire Rasky. So now we're going to have Jackson Edmond play first. I believe so, because Bennett Dean's going to come in to pitch to try and get the last 5 outs potentially of this ball game. So we'll tell you all the defensive changes because we're going to have a bunch of them. We're going to be having a circus here of a merry-go-round of defensive changes. We'll have the details back after this minute break. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Vertic Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Vertic Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Vertic Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Vertic Electric, 224-8684.
Are you driving a 2014 or newer vehicle? Are there less than 100,000 miles on it? Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is prepared to give you top dollar. Again, if your ride is 2014 or newer with less than 100,000 miles, Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you top dollar for it right now. Trade it in or sell it to us. Doesn't matter. Your vehicle has never been worth more than it is right now. Stop in at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit gatewayflt.com.
Bennett Dean is now on the mound here for the Pierre Governors as they are trying to close this one out here in the bottom of the sixth with one down, first and second. As we go through the changes, we have McGuire Rasky that will be back out in center field. Spencer Lettler now will then move over to left field, would assume. Wait to see when these guys get up from their kneel, if that's going to be the case. And then Jackson Edmond is in the game, and I know that he is playing first because he throws left-handed and he's on the infield, so he's going to be playing first base. I do know that one. And then we'll have Edmond batting in the spot where Aaron Booth is at. So then he, after Aaron Booth ended the top of the sixth inning, which means that he will be the ninth man to come to the plate in that seventh inning if he would come to bat in that top of the seventh. So Bennett Dean is on the mound. He's started in 2 games so far. This is a first chance to come in the relief appearance. And I believe the last time, he did come in relief for McGuire Rasky the last time McGuire Rasky pitched. This is in much better circumstances in terms for McGuire Rasky leaving the game, but he comes in with another difficult task. Runners at first and second here with one down the bottom of the sixth inning.
Batting for the Tigers, number
Yeah,
24,
and again, right now, what Dean needs to do is just pound the strike zone. Just throw strikes, make the Tigers hit his pitch. Don't try to nibble too much. Don't try to be too fine. Just challenge and see what the Tiger hitters can do.
First pitch is over for strike one to Lose, who is 1 for 1 so far. He reached base all 3 times. He singled to lead off the fourth and came in to score. He's walked the other 2 plate appearances so far. 0-1. There's a sharp ground ball that goes through the glove of Jake Mayer into left field, and 1 run will come in to score. Next man will come to third base, and it's first and third here with 1 down. And that was nearly a tailor-made double play to get you out of the inning in just 2 pitches, but instead it's now first and third, an 8-5 lead for Pierre.
Number 9, Jack Sutton.
And Jack Sutton will come to the plate with runners still at the corners with 1 out.
Yeah, and just a ball that Jake Mayer may have taken his eyes off of, tried to make the play before the ball got to him, and like you said, John, just kind of a tailor-made ground ball, hard hit, had the potential to be 2, and for the Tigers, I mean, they turn it into a run and runners on the corners.
First pitch is missed for ball 1, and again, for Dean and for any pitcher, you see that it's you feel like you're going to be out of the inning, and now you got to continue to pitch. So you got to be able to shake that off and be able to throw strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one will get off the umpire as Huska couldn't make the catch, and it's now 2-0, and the runner will move up and take away the double play opportunity. And again, this is a tying run to the plate situation here. Now the infield will come in all the way around here with one down. 2-0 is the count. That one is upstairs and is now 3-0. They're back in the infield up. I was wondering if that was maybe the infield wanted to do that, but Ryan Kruger, assistant coach, pushed them back. And they don't need to get that runner out. They need to get outs. As it's now a 4-pitch walk from Dean. The bases are now loaded here with one out. And the tying run is back on base again.
Sutton with the walk.
And that'll bring up Jack Tigan.
Brings up number 7, Jack Tigan.
And again, another ground ball could get you out of this inning.
Yeah, I think right now what we'll probably see from the Governor infield is and that's the way they're going to play this. They're going to play in at the corners, back in the middle. So anything that comes to Gordon at third or Edmund at first is probably coming home. Ground ball in the middle is going to go to second and then on to first.
Yeah, I'd love to see a nice chopper right back to Dean to go start a 1-2-3 double play. And again, now with Edmund at first base, and nothing against Dean, but Edmund's a big target over there at first.
Mm-hmm.
he's a tall guy, so he can stretch out a little bit farther. Dean standing pretty tall as well, but Edmund's just that big target over at first base. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Here to Jack Tigan, who is 0 for 3 so far. He struck out twice, and he's also grounded into a fielder's choice. 8-5 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-0 is over, and now 1-1. This is a big situation for both teams. And again, the Govs were able to get 3 runs back, those 3 runs back in the top of the 6th inning. That one will bounce away from Huska. Nobody advances. It is now 2-1 to the number 6 hitter in the order. But 1 run has already scored here for Harrisburg. And they're threatening with the bases loaded. And 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th.
And Huska got enough of that ball, blocked enough of it to keep it from resulting in another run scored. Just able to keep it close to home plate.
2-1. There's a big swing and a miss there from Tigan. And it's now 2-2.
And we've talked about Dean's ability to succeed comes on his second and third pitches. If those second and third pitches are breaking over the plate, he can be really effective, especially if that changeup is working.
And there's a swing and a miss by Tigan, and there's now 2 down. He's got the hat trick here in game number 2, and that'll bring up Taylor Klein. So Tigan been a strikeout victim 3 times here in this second game. And Taylor Klein comes up with 2 outs. Here the base is loaded. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. But again, a base hit, especially now with 2 outs, a base hit could pull Harrisburg back within 1. Somewhere in the gap, potentially could tie the game up. 1-0 pitch. That one is right down the middle, right around the knees. It's now 1-1. I'm about to say right down the middle, but the look that Klein had when he stopped for a little bit, maybe it was more at the knees. It was middle, but I think it was middle low. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. It is now 1-2. And the Govs are a strike away from getting out of this jam. Due up for the Govs is 5, 6, and 7 in the top of the 7th inning. 1-2 pitch. There's a chopper. Gordon comes in the infield grass. The throw is low, and Edmund scoops it out at first base and retire the side. What a big scoop there. Edmund coming in cold off the bench, and he's able to make a huge play over at first base, and that retires the side here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 run scores on 1 error, or no hits, 1 error, and 3 men left on base. We have played 6 complete, and the Govs have a 8-5 lead over the Harrisburg Tigers. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Overhead Door Company of Pierre is a locally owned business specializing in the sale, service, and installation of residential and commercial garage doors. They provide quality, dependable products with constant service and the peace of mind you need. Overhead Door is one of the most recognized and most respected brand in the garage door industry. For installation and repairs, call Overhead Door Company today at 224-6200. That's 224-6200.
Wondering what to do with the pitted and rutted drive? B&B Equipment will get you covered. Wanting to put something down the ground? B&B Equipment will put a hole in your project. Need to even up that property? B&B Equipment can fill that need. B&B Equipment can deliver all your gravel and material needs. B&B Equipment is here for all your excavation needs. Contact B&B Equipment, 224-6727. A contractor here for you. That's B&B Equipment, 224-6727.
We head to the top of the 7th inning. The Govs lead 8-5. Taylor Klein is now on the mound. Lincoln Carlson will take over at second, so the DH is gone for Harrisburg. But the Govs with 5, 6, and 7 coming up to the plate. This is a must-score. Well, I wouldn't say must-score, but if you do score, it puts you a little bit more at ease because Harrisburg, the last 3 innings, have scored those 5 runs, and their offense is starting to click a little bit here, so you want now for the Govs to try and add on to this 3-run lead.
And our number 1 fan, Bill Van Camp, just checked in with me. So we know he's sitting around the radio, or maybe he's on YouTube. I don't know.
Might be watching the great video on YouTube that we have. First pitch to Spencer Lettler. There's a ground ball to the right side, and 1 pitch and 1 out here to open up the top of the 7th. And that'll bring up now Jake Mayer, who is 0 for 2. What did Bill Van Camp have to say?
He said it was a good job getting out of the 6th inning with the bases loaded. So,
well, that's the very kind of Bill Van Camp. With him texting you during a game, I thought maybe
some other kind of derogatory comment.
Then I thought after I asked that, I was like, no, that probably wasn't a good idea to ask that question.
No, he was very much into the game. So we'll, like I said, hopefully right now for the Governors, if they can play a couple of insurance runs and then with any luck, get 3 outs and finish this game off.
There's a line out to the second baseman, Carlson. He's been busy. He just got in the game, and he's been busy with 2 hits right back to him. And he's recorded both outs, and here's Bennett Dean. Now the pitcher looking be going to that bottom of the 7th inning, potentially trying to get that save. Here's the first pitch to Bennett Dean. That's upstairs for ball 1. Dean is 2 for 2 so far with 2 doubles and was hit by a pitch. And here's the 1-0 pitch on the outside edge, and it's now 1-1 to Dean. Govs have had 2 extra base hits in the last 4 games, and they have come in this game and come from 1 guy, and Dean. There's another sharp line drive that's just going to get foul. He was looking for his 3rd double of the game.
Yeah, Dean had gone through a little bit of a slump early on in the year. Just wasn't feeling really comfortable at the plate. But when he's going good, you see him really pull the ball to right field, and that's what he's done. What he's done today. So an indication that maybe he's kind of got maybe whatever mechanical issues that were hampering him. Maybe he's worked those out.
He does strike out on a swinging strike, and that will end the top of the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. Bottom of the 7th upcoming. Govs 3 outs away from earning a huge split against Harrisburg. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Innovation. It's right here. Avera St. Mary's Hospital keeps care local for you and your family, offering comprehensive care that has earned 4 out of 5 stars by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services in hospital performance and safety. Avera St. Mary's world-class care is further supported by advanced technology, 2-way video e-consults, 3D mammography, and a state-of-the-art birthing center, so you and your family don't have to go anywhere else, because innovation lives right here in Pierre. Learn more at avera.org/news.
Your home and business are important to you, and you need quality furnace and air conditioning products and service. With a combined 50-plus years of experience, AirTech Heating and Cooling provides you with just that service. Call 945-0160 for sales, service, and installation of furnaces, air conditioning, and heat pumps. AirTech Heating and Cooling features the American Standard products. Sales, installation, and service. You want the best, and that's what you'll find at AirTech Heating and Cooling in Pierre.
As we welcome you back here to Harrisburg, bottom of the 7th, 8-5 lead for the Pierre Governors. It's going to be 8-9-1. Sam Rayburn, Will Simmons, Chase Lucas. And if anybody reaches base, Tyson Kogel. Bennett Dean on the mound. And he got the last 2 outs of the bottom of the 6th. And he's looking to close this one out here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1.
Also got a text from Rich Shangru, big supporter of Pierre Governor Athletics. He's watching on YouTube today.
1-0 pitch. There's a swing and a miss. It's now 1-1. And I tell you, there's a lot of times where you see the amount of views for YouTube. But I always know Rich is one of those views that we've had in those games. Love the support that he gives, not just for the sports that we broadcast, but for every sport in the Pierre area. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Sam Rayburn. There's a fly ball out towards center field. McGuire Rasky going back and over the shoulder catch. And the first out, a big first out recorded there to open up the bottom of the 7th inning. And that'll bring up Will Simmons.
Now batting
with 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th.
Tate Kogel.
Tate Kogel will be the man to hit for Simmons.
Yeah, and if you can get the first out, get the first batter in the 7th inning of a tight baseball game, that's a huge out. That's a huge step forward for the Governors. And so, because you take away that base runner, you take away the ability for the team that's trailing to put a little pressure on in this case, the Governors. And so, big out recorded there by getting the leadoff batter Rayburn on the fly ball.
2-0 count to Kogel. Here is the 2-0 pitch. That one is over at the knees. It is now 2-1 to Kogel. Lucas, then Tyson Kogel. Timon Long would be that next man to hit to the 2-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss. It is now 2-2. But right now, Tyson Kogel's not even guaranteed to come to the plate.
Yeah, and again, just every Harrisburg batter comes to the plate with an approach of, I'm going to hit the ball hard, and none of them have gotten cheated today.
I think that that'll be the case when we see him in the summertime, and every time we see him here throughout the 2021 year. Here's a ground ball over to Andy Gordon. They'll throw to first. That one on the fly over to Edmond. Much easier grab over at first base for the big man, but there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. And the Harrisburg Tigers, for the first time this year, are down their final strike and could fall to for the first time here in 2021. And this would be a huge split for the Pierre Governors. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. And of course, there's still 1 out to get, and there's still plenty of, you pass along the next guy for Harrisburg, but as it's now 2-0 here to Chase Lucas, to lose 10-0 in the first game, and Pierre just didn't have in that first game, to come back and at least have a 3-run lead with 2 outs in the 7th inning, it's a big, that's one for Pierre to kind of look back and say, this is a resilient group. This is a group that wasn't going to hang their head and go 0-2 here today. That one skied out to center field. McGuire Rasky will backpedal, and the Governors will get a split with the Harrisburg Tigers as they went 8-5 in game number 2. And Harrisburg will fall for the first time here in the 2021 season as the Govs are now 6-2 on the year, and Harrisburg falls to 13-1. Back in 2 minutes to wrap this day up here on today's KCCR, today'skccr.com, and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Join Rising Hope 605 and Dustin Evans and the Good Times Band at the Ramcota River Center, Friday, April 23rd from 7 until 11. Rising Hope 605 is raising funds for people within our community to reduce barriers to access hope. You can do your part by purchasing a ticket and inviting your friends and family to a fun night out with Dustin Evans and the Good Times Band. Purchase your ticket at risinghope605.com. That's risinghope605.com.
Hey, it's Julia from Milwaukee Federal Credit Union, letting you know that our recreational special is back again, with terms up to 10 years, no payments for 90 days, and rates as low as 2.4% APR. Apply online or stop in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre and let Jameson or I get you started.
People helping people. Hawaii Federal Credit Union.
As we welcome you back here to Harrisburg as a final fear for the Govs to win 8-5 over the Harrisburg Tigers and to knock off Harrisburg for their first loss of the 2021 season. John Winkler alongside Greg Dean as we welcome you in the post-game show. Govs had just 9 hits today, but they pick up a split. You know, they had 8 hits last Saturday and pick up a split, but 5 hits here in game number 2. He had 8 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors, and left 5 guys on base. For Harrisburg, they had 5 runs and only 4 hits. They also had 3 errors, but they left 11 guys on base. So you can look at the line score, and of course a win is a win, and you'll take it any way you can get it. But again, as you keep go throughout the season, you say what you need to get better on, and the free passes are the big thing for the Governors. Pitching wise, defense, you know, they had 3 errors today and all came in that second game. But then also getting those timely hits, and they got more timely hits here in this ball game. But I think the 8 runs, there was hardly any RBIs in this game. They only had 2 RBIs in the 8 runs that they scored. Andy Gordon got the 2 RBIs on the fielder's choice. Everything else came in through by an error or by a wild pitch.
Yeah, and again, this is just a good confidence booster after getting shut out in 2 consecutive games to take on a team that was undefeated and to you know not only and play with the lead for the first time in a long time. Play with the lead because remember, when they beat Mitchell last week, they had to come from behind late in the game to win game 1 before Mitchell shut them out in game number 2. So playing with the lead was a little bit of a different thing in game number 1, and then game got close. Governors responded, put three runs back on the board in the 6th inning, and then they closed the door late in the game and come away with the 8-5 victory.
And again, you know, we talk about splits sometimes, and I think sometimes when you lose that second game, it leaves a little bit more of a sour taste in your mouth. Even though you're 1-1, the Govs are going to leave here with that second game win, and you walk away feeling a little bit better than probably what Harrisburg does, just because you've got that second game win, and you feel a little bit about what the most recent game that you've had, but. You know, that's a really good baseball team that's going to be sitting around the top 4 seeds when it comes to the end of the regular season. And the Govs, that win is going to be a huge PowerPoint boost, a huge momentum boost, a huge confidence boost. There's so many positives that come away from this second game win.
Yeah, you always remember your last game, and like you said, I mean, walking out of here on a high, winning game number 2, putting that first mark in the loss column for Harrisburg. They're now 13-1 on the year. That's a big win for the Govs, and so kudos to the young men in green and gray. And so now they look forward to Tuesday. Look forward to hearing on Tuesday, and then the home opener next Friday against Brookings.
Dress warm next Tuesday. If you're going to make the trip to Huron, make sure you dress warm, because if you were dressed warm today, you got to dress a little bit warmer for Tuesday. We'll be on the air around 4:40 for that one. 5 and 7 o'clock are scheduled times for that doubleheader. We'll have both those games for you here on today's KCCR, today'skccr.com, and you can watch on YouTube at KCCR Sports as the Govs have just one more time on the road before we can finally welcome the fans back to the 2021 of Hyde Stadium and get a chance to have that doubleheader against Brookings at home next week, Friday at 5 and 7 as well. And looking forward to seeing a lot of the baseball fans they haven't seen since end of last summer. And they get a chance to have all those fans out again at Hyde Stadium. But that will be next Friday. On Tuesday, the Huron Tigers will be hosting the Pierre Governors. 5 and 7 o'clock for those two doubleheaders. We'll have those for you here on today's KCCR, today'skccr.com, and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Greg, final thoughts here before we wrap things up?
No, I think after going through a little bit of a skid, the Governors had a little bit of a gut check after game number 1, and they responded nicely, especially being a little short-handed today, having a couple of guys, couple of regulars that weren't here for various reasons, had other activities going on, and so to be able to respond, beat a very good Harrisburg team with a little bit of a short roster, that's a huge positive. Really nice outing from Aaron Booth to start with the start in game number 2, and there he and Bennett Dean are celebrating down, trying to get our attention down on the field.
They're having some fun. The good thing is the camera's not picking up those two goofballs over there. No, but the Govs they got a big win here in the second game. Yeah, like you said, from Aaron Booth to the start, Jake Mayer, McGuire Rasky, and then Bennett Dean got the save to pick up that second win and to split at 1-1 here on the afternoon. We might have Coach Steve Gray coming up here. I'm not sure if he's making his way, walking up here or not. And
yep, he is.
Okay, so let's have a quick chat here with Coach Steve Gray as he makes his way up after a big second game win. And we'll hand you the mic, Coach. And Coach, well, let's talk about this second game here, because you guys lost 10-0 in that first game, but you come back with an 8-5 win. That tells you a lot about your crew.
That's why we coach and play right there. That was fun. And like I told him down in the corner, it's like sitting there at the end of that. Jackson, he didn't know where he was going to be in that thing. His play of the game, the inning before was huge. Momentum changed. That's why we do it. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we were just talking. You got to feel really good coming out of this, especially out of this second game. You always remember your last game, and so being able to walk out of here, give Harrisburg their first loss in game number 2, you probably got to have a pretty excited crew going home and coming into next week, where you come in on with a doubleheader on Tuesday and then the home opener on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. You think about it, we played 5 innings of pretty good baseball in the first game, put together 7 there, had 2 innings where the wheels fell off because of some plays we should have made, but those are learning, teaching moments. We had a little discussion between games, and I was proud of the guys. They wanted the baseball. McGuire, that was huge for him to want the baseball and go out and do it. That was huge. So,
what did he say coming off the mound coming after this game? I'm sure probably some general soreness, but probably felt good to get back on the mound.
Oh yeah, when he was, we've been kind of working this direction, all spring, and we looked in the dugout. Man, I want the ball. I'm like, dude, it's all yours, man. We're better with you wanting the baseball. So that was huge. You can tell, and the guys see it too, that that gives us another option, and it's a great option too. So.
And I got to think too, because McGuire's a guy that's going to be a leader on this team because of all the experience that he has had. Yep. For him to be that confident to say he wants the baseball, that kind of gives everybody else a little bit of confidence too.
Absolutely. We put Ben in a tough spot there, and you know what, Ben stepped up and got after it. And that's those are our senior kids have been around us for a while, and it's just cool to go out and compete and see that. Like I said, we told them everybody's going to have a role, something different each game. It might change on the fly. You know, heck, we had Jackson up ready to pitch 4 different times. And all of a sudden he gets thrown into play first, makes the biggest damn play of the game, you know. So, you know, it's, you know what? That's the way it is. That's what makes it fun.
6'5" first basemen are kind of fun to have, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, you'll take those big targets. But that was a hell of a scoop right there. So, you know, it was like, it was fun. So that's what I'm telling Dirk and Ryan. It's like, that's why you coach right there, is get the juices flowing like back when you were playing.
So as you now get ready for Huron on Tuesday, and again, some of these guys are not available to pitch, but you get more guys back, and that's also a big boost too, because you played without some of your regular guys here today. Those guys will be back, but and the guys that did play today stepped up and made some pretty good plays.
You know, it makes it tough as a coach when you got a lot of options. So I mean, that's a great dilemma to have, that you can look up and down the line and say, okay, it's your turn, go get it, you know, and they go out and compete, and that's all we ask them to do.
To be 6-2 at this point in the season, is this kind of where you thought maybe you'd be?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's, you know, you know, we knew there were going to be some growing pains just because we're, you know, like I said, we hadn't seen these guys for essentially 2 years, you know, and even the guys that are our leaders right now are still inexperienced leaders, so they're learning some things that they've never had to deal with. You know, Ben coming out throwing there at the end, that's huge. I mean, that's a tough situation to be in against a good baseball team and a good hitting team. You know, especially the top of the order. That's huge.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on this big second win, the first one that Harrisburg will have to take here in 2021, and we'll talk to you again on Tuesday as you take on the Huron Tigers.
Yeah, sorry for my tardiness. I wanted to go out and have a little fun there, so sorry about that.
Not a problem at all. We appreciate the talk, and congratulations again on the win.
All right, thank you. It'll be a fun ride home.
Coach Steve Gray of the victorious Pierre Governors here in the second game of the doubleheader, as you know. He's right. It will be a fun ride home for all these guys because of you know, again, your last game is the one that you remember, and it's going to be a much easier drive for all these guys to get back home and being 1-1, but we're getting that second win of that doubleheader.
Yeah, and just being able to take Harrisburg down for the first time this year. So Harrisburg goes to 13-1 on the year. The Governors go to 6-2 at Huron on Tuesday, and then the home opener next Friday against a very good Brookings team.
Yeah, and they just beat Douglas 20-0 here recently, just a few minutes ago. They got a 20-0 win. So that is, you know, Brookings will be a team that we'll be looking forward to on Friday, but looking forward to Huron first on Tuesday, as those games will start at 5 o'clock with that doubleheader. We'll have both games on today's KCCR, KCCR.com, and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. That wraps things up for us here this evening from Harrisburg. For Jake Mayer back at the station, Greg Dean to my right, I'm John Winkler. Final scores once again, a 10-0 win for the Harrisburg Tigers in game number 1, and the Pierre Governors, they pick up a second game win as they beat Harrisburg for the first time this year. They win 8-5 as we say so long from Harrisburg.
You have been listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR. Pierre Governor Baseball is brought to you by Bank West, B&B Equipment, the Association of South Dakota Weed and Pest, Fisher Rounds and Associates, Sioux Nation, Black Hills Federal Credit Union, Overhead Door Company, Service Master, All Around Graphics, Nystrom Electric, Wagner Auto, Agtegra, AirTech, Pierre Sports Center, Comtech, and Rising Hope Counseling. Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR is also brought to you by Avera, Dakota Sprinkler, Ferding Electric, Kathy Sunshine Properties, Gales Gas, First Dakota National Bank, Lamb Motor, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Olson Plumbing, Todd's Electric, Kruger Contracting, Midwest Cooperative, Gateway Ford, Lincoln and Toyota, and Shane's Pharmacy. Join us again for more Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting.